Was it about 2 minutes long? Yeah?
3 minutes, I think he said.
Gold Onyx started in 1992 as a discussion group to bring our people together. In 2000, we reshaped and reorganised our organisation to focus on celebrating the 1st of August, which is Emancipation Day. Since then, we've had quite a few different community groups and projects, one of which is the Gold Onyx Children's Cultural Film Club, which is started in 2009 and is still going. The Children's Cultural Film Club is a forum for young people to come together and watch a film in a African-centered environment. We watch a film, have a discussion about the film. We talk about achievements that we have achieved throughout the month, and we celebrate in that way. The Children's Cultural Film Club is a really valuable resource for young people. We have offered young people the opportunity to take on posts such as volunteering. From there, we have seen them go on to do other things as well. Some of our young people have gone on to university. We've even had parents also going back to college, starting up their own business through just being enlightened and encouraged about what's going on here at Gold Onyx. We'd like more children to come. As we said before, it's a valuable resource because when you go to the mainstream cinemas, you just watch the film and you go home. Whereas here we're a club, we're a Gold Onyx Children's Cultural Film Club. And it's very important that we are a club so that people can feel part of the experience of watching a film together in a safe family environment. Gold Onyx has a number of community engagement projects. We have our Island in the Sun display, which is over 400 items associated with Africa and the Caribbean. We have family outings, a place of cultural interest. We run a Gold Onyx store, which helps to raise money to finance the organisation. We do cultural films in schools and colleges and wherever who hire us. We have the Children and Young People's Programme. That one is where if you're another organisation putting on an event and nobody's there to supervise the children, we can supervise the children with the same theme so the children can learn about whatever the topic is that the adults are discussing. We also specialise in toys for African children so we can promote our own identity. Our slogan is remember not to forget, and we've also got another slogan which is we're working together to spread the gospel of African unity and culture. The Children's Cultural Film Club takes place every second Saturday of the month. For more details, you can contact us on 07946 670 949. That's 07946 670 949. You can also email us at gold.onyx.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world.
But more importantly, visit our website.
Today we
so
are
it would be good to come down
doing
and
the
join
community
in fun.
tribute,
Hope to see you
celebrating the
there
life
at
of
one.
Sister Jan, known as Janet. Well, she is Janet Edwards, aka also known as Lady Leo. Once again, as you know, sadly she has gone to the ancestors. This morning we had a nice drumming session, a nice celebration, and then after the drumming session there was the church service. I've just literally come back from the church service, hearing the tributes to Lady Leo, aka Janet Edwards. Mm-hmm. So, you know, today we're asking yourselves to take part and into this tribute this evening and pay homage to a lady, a queen that came into the community and, you know, empowered universities, schools, colleges, and many various events. So what we're going to be doing for the next couple of hours, we're going to invite you to come on. We'll be putting up the link every now and again. So if you want to come in and either text, phone, and take part in the tribute. That's right. Yeah, I've got here the program that was at the church, a very beautiful program. Excellent. Showing, you know, it just showed how much Jan was a very much a community person. How can I explain it? You know, some people, you put the word community on them, and she wore it with pride. Empowering us with, especially being a Garveyite, being a Pan-Africanist, you know, and as you can see in the studio, we've got various items to, you know, to pour libation and Sister Kandaki, are you going to say anything?
Go ahead.
No,
You're doing. I'm listening. We'll be moving forward, so I'll have a chance to share.
I'm going to just read something from her mum. It says, "What can I say about Janet that has not been said already by many tributes that are caring?" I'm going to start again. What can I say about Janet that has not been said already? By the many tributes that are already said, Jan was a loving, caring daughter. Nothing is too much for her, whether she knows it or not. She would go to the last mile for you, and this is very true. Even when she was not well, she would be pushing herself to go that extra mile. I will surely miss her coming in and hearing her before you see her, because you used to hear it. That's what the mom used to hear her before you used to see her.
Yeah.
Because may her soul rest in peace, and that's from Lady Leo's mum. And that's one of the things that I want to talk about later, that she was very much a when I first met her, she was quite quiet. She was very quiet.
Okay.
I first met her on SLR radio in 1995, and she was going under the name of Black Cat. And under the name of Black Cat, obviously, it's not really a conscious name as such, but you know, we worked with it at the time.
Panther.
Yeah, Black Cat.
Black
So
Cat, Panther.
she came under the name Black Cat, and she shadowed quite a few radio presenters because she said she wanted to get into playing music. And while she was shadowing DJs, when she came and shadowed me, she said to me that she was inspired by her brother's music. Her brother's record collection, and most of the record collection that she did bring to play was, you know, the Mighty Diamonds, you know, the more conscious stuff. And you use like, yeah, man, you're on a track. But she said it was her brother's inspiration that why she got into that type of music, being a DJ style as Black Cat. Moving on from then, when I later spoke to Lady Leo, she said that she wanted to move into doing talk shows and informing the community about what's going on in the community. I said, oh, that's very interesting. And then she turned around to me and said, I'm going to change my name. I'm going to change my name to Lady Leo because she was born July the 24th, which the star sign is Leo. So she used Leo as her name, you know. Lady Leo. Yes, Lady Leo, I'm going to use that name. So I said, oh, that's good. But, you know, and I've got to admit, I'm talking about 1997. Now, myself, I wasn't a conscious person at the time, but I was one of these DJs that would have said, well, yeah. I'm not used to the talking and the community stuff. But moving on for that, she went on from SLR to Station FM. Where she went to Station FM, she done a community hour for 1 hour, just informing the community what's going on in the community, what events are happening, you know, what events are happening, products, black businesses. She made it her duty to do that. And while she was making it her duty, she also used to go around all the record shops, pick up all the flyers and compile them for her show, you know. So while she was doing this, she also would ring up the person and say, hi, my name's Lady Leo. What do you do? Can I read out your flyer? I'm going to be talking about and in like basically endorse most of the conscious events and most of the community that was empowering our community events in that 1 hour that she had. Now, I'm going to say this. She had some challenges because obviously we as our people, we love our music. We love our music. So you imagine just music is playing and we love music and we love party. Then along comes someone trying to educate you. So there was a little bit of resistance. And she rang me up and she said, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to do it no more. And I said, why? She goes, people, they're not really feeling it. That's because it wasn't very interactive and people didn't show. But then she rang me back and she says, I'm going to keep on doing it. And I'm going to treat every show as if it's my last show. I don't care. How she started to become that bold. So she says, I'm going to treat every show as if it's my last show. And she continued. And as she continued, and I've got to say, as some of the radio presenters saw, they started to embrace the fact that she was empowering the community. And there's a couple, and some of them are past. Some of them are still around and still acknowledge Lady Leo. When they see Lady Leo hugging, kissing, and she'll be telling them about the Kwanzaa and what's going in the community. So she then became a what you can see, the person to go to, telling them about the Kwanzaa and what's going. Yeah. So to that point, Lady Leo now went on to do research work for Choice FM. I don't know how she met Sugar Dread on Choice FM or how it came about, but she decided to do the research. And when you're a radio presenter, you get someone to help you in the professional side when they go. I should say legal, community, we're
legal.
We're legal. We're more legal than them, right? But yeah, so she decided to do the research for a radio DJ. His name was Sugar Dread. So when she done this research and gave him the community news and stuff, that's the role she played on Choice FM. So when she rang me back and she told me, I'm doing research for Choice FM, me get jealous. It look like this talking thing does work. It worked because she was getting acknowledged in that area for her work. I've got to say, from then she went to Natural Radio. She's been on Natural. She's also guested a lot on other radio stations as promoting Gold Onyx and the bits and pieces that she does. So she was also known on other radio stations to come in as a guest. Also, she currently now was doing on Bless Radio from the hours of 6 till 8. So, of just community news, bringing in, and I've got to say, beautiful sisters like yourself on there and beautiful people that are going to come and give their tribute. So she actually made that platform for people to come via her to share what they were doing, and even to the fact, I know that one of the interviews that really, really she felt really excited about, over the moon. And I've got to say, this is very interesting for me because they'd asked me to do the interview, but when I sent Lady Leo's name and some female, they picked Lady Leo out of all the group, a sister by the name of Dr. Mumbai.
Yes.
I don't know if you know Dr. Mumbai. I know some people might, but she said to me, I'm really happy because it's Dr. Mumbai, and her son was also a fan of Dr. Mumbai. So I even though I got, someone gave me a phone call to interview, I used to say, well, who is this Dr. Mumbai? Have I pronounced her name right?
Mumbai, yeah.
Yeah, so from that, her and Dr. Mumbai were like, I could hear them on the phone just talking. And she went to meet Dr. Mumbai, and they were reasoning, and she because Dr. Mumbai herself is a Pan-Africanist as well, talks and does a YouTube thing, and it was so I could see on her face that, yes, I've got, one of my dream list on radio. Yeah, so even I was like, well, you know what? Yeah, go for it. Yeah, so like I said, she was on Bless Radio 6 till 8 o'clock every Friday doing the community show, community news. And after this tribute, they will be continuing her a show in tribute of Lady Leo. Yeah, so this evening. So if you get the chance, or please log in later. It's blessradio.co.uk. Off the top of my head, just tap in Bless Radio, Lady Leo. Today was emotional for me, and I'm just going to touch on some bits and pieces, and then we're going to bring some people in. There were some people that actually said Lady Leo was the one, and I don't want to put anybody in face, but the person confessed, because when he went through his trials and tribulation, where he was sectioned, you heard him say, he actually admitted she came to see him, to get him out of that situation, right? And I've got to say, not a lot of people would have done that. She went to the what can I say? Where they keep people in their clinic or hospital. She went and looked for the brother. She went and made sure that he was okay. She went and asked, "What medication are you giving him?" And has his family been informed? She actually went and looked up at his welfare. Not even his family knew at the time. But then even that, she came back and she did tell me. But I'm going to say the same thing when Brother Dougie passed, and that hurt me. Lady Leo rang me up. She said, "Supreme, is it true?" And I said, "Yeah." And I was down. I was out. I was down. I'm being honest. I was down. And she goes, "Wait for me. I'm coming right now." I said, "No, don't come," because I didn't want her to see me in tears. I'm being honest. I was broken, and I said, "Oh, I don't want Lady." So what happened to you? What happened to Doggy? What she was of that sort of big, bold character. What happened to Doggy? What happened to you? Come on, like basically, kind of get yourself together. So I've got to admit, the next day, I was in a state of depression, and she kept ringing me every day. "Where are you?" And this is very funny. She was trying to diagnose me over the phone. She says, "What are you breathing like that for?" I remember she rang me. She goes, "You're breathing. You're coughing. What's the matter? Make sure you take." She was telling me, "Make sure I look after myself. I'm coming around to bring you this." I said, No, I'm all right." Then she rang me the next day. "Oh, have you taken any medicine? Have you done anything? What are you doing about that cough? I can hear it. Are you eating? Why are you eating?" She really went through that thing. And I said, "Look, sis, I'm fine." And this is one of the greatest things I'm going to say to the sisters of community. We need you. We need people like Leo. Because as a man, our ego gets in the way. We say we're all right when we're not all right. I put my hand up. We say, "Oh yeah, I'm fine, leave me alone." But we have bawled some big tears, and we're going down this road, So she was one of the people that kind of lifted me back up, So again, like I said, we're going to be going through, and we'll be having some tributes from people who are online. So please, if you get this link, send this link to your friends, your family. Send this link to people to let them know that we're here, right here on MediaNet TV. Let them know that the celebration for Lady Leo is now happening.
And I'd just like to say just a few words before we bring on our other speakers or guests who's going to be paying their tributes to this true warrior queen. There are many sisters out there, but there's very, very, very few that stand the way Sister Jan, as I called her, did. And my interaction with Jan, you know, it's probably been over the last 10 years or so, and it has been mainly in Kwanzaa. And, you know, hearing where you know, coming from, where the black cat, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
black cat,
yeah.
you know, panther, you know, and, you know, just hearing that and her changes, but just seeing that sister and, you know, being in the community and knowing, you know, sisters out there, that sister is real. You know, when she gives fully from the heart. That sister is clean, you know, she's someone who, and that's exactly what I did. You know, I was able to call her, and I didn't even realize till she passed that she was actually a big sister. You know, I was on the phone to her 2 days before because I was asking her advice, you know, but I was also asking, you know, what happened with this? And she said, but I sent it out from a long time. And but she was someone who you could go to. So I know we're going to have some people from the PACM, and we're going to have some people who, you know, does the Kwanzaa here. And of course, one thing you'd always see her with is Abinay and Patrick. You know, you'd always see Sister Jan with those two youths, you know, bringing them through. And, you know, wherever she was making sure that they were there beside her and still dealing with the community. So I just want to say before we go in that I am blessed to have known a soul like that. I mean, even look at the leaflet that you think for who I mean, look at that, and every page that you go through, that is love to, I mean, look at it. And it, you know, if you get, I'm going to probably take that from you, Supreme, because I haven't got one and I'm going to want to get one. It's absolutely, and you can see that is done with a degree of love that for someone who's really worth it, you know. I mean, look at that. It's beautiful. So I'm sure throughout these couple of hours while we're here, we're going to hear some tributes to this queen who has given to the community so much.
So we're going to be moving on with the program, and we do have a sister who's based now out of the UK, who is a good friend of Lady Leo. We're going to bring in Diane Powell, all the way from, I keep saying Dubai, but it's the UAE.
Also known as Ari Ma'at.
Greetings, Namaste. How are you, family?
Namaste. About to do anything new.
I don't know what to say really right now. When you played the recording of Jan, that's the first time I've heard her voice in a while. We talk quite regularly, so it was quite emotional, really. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry. I've known Jan for a few years. Well, I think it's now pushing on 20 years I've known Jan for now. Initially through the airwaves. However, by chance, we've realized that our children went to the same primary school. So prior to that, I used to hear her on the radio, and you know, you go to community events, but you're not really introduced until one day there was an incident at the school, and the type of person Jan is, you know, Jan will be at the forefront. Yeah, very, very vocal in regards to the situation, and we ever since then we've been good friends, you know. And a lot of it was around the children. We will go to the community events with the children, because as you all know, she's very, very much into the children, into the heritage, into the culture. So a lot of the time she would, you know, call me up and say, yeah, this event happened here, bring Shemi as well, da da da. But then as time went on, she was developing the gold onyx. And during that period, I was very much into supporting businesses, charities, and social enterprises. So there was a period where I did some fundraising for her for Gold Onyx, and we raised quite a bit of money to take Gold Onyx to the next level. And as you know, Jan, with Gold Onyx is her baby. She was her planning. She will sit up for hours writing the business plan, proposals. She will call me every evening. What do you think about this? This is my idea. This is my 5-year plan. And she was bounce. She was very, very determined. And you know what I did, it was kind of funny because she was new to this game, but she was willing to learn this. And it was just refreshing to know, somebody that is so determined, even though they didn't know how to fundraise per se, they did it in their own way. But when you're going into another arena of big money and big bids, she was willing to learn. So as I said, Gold Onyx was her baby. And I was very supportive with her and the committee. I used to always attend the events as well, because my daughter during that period, she was having some challenges at school, and Jan said, well, why don't she become a volunteer? So Shemi became a volunteer at the Thor Club, and Jan was like a second mum, and she really took her under her wing, and and at that time during Gold Onyx, she also had her nephews there as well as Ebony and Patrick, so it was very much a little family. And I think at the funeral today, I think it was her brother Noel that was saying that her nephews used to call her the boss, and that was how she was.
Of course.
If you came late, why are you coming in late? Don't you know it's about customer service? And she really, really, was organized. And even as young as the volunteers was, she didn't joke with them. She was very much about quality, about appearance, about how things are supposed to look. The chair's supposed to be out. When people come in, you need to be at your station. And if you weren't at the station, and she didn't care who was around, why are you at your station? She would blast. It was more about tough love.
Yeah.
It was very much about tough love. And it's just her character. She just used to make me laugh. The things that she used to come out with. It's very rarely you see Jan sad.
One thing I'm going to say, Diana, I saw she was very much a person who liked detail, followed detail, and even if she saw somebody else do something and it never had that detail, she'll ring them up. And she even made me laugh. She used to print it out, do a little PowerPoint about it, and kind of educate the person to say, I've done this for you. This is how it should go. She's very, very much into detail. Even you just mentioned something there that the family, the nephews and the family, she encouraged the family financially as youngsters to have a family like bank account. Explaining to them like, this is how much you're gonna save, this is how much you're gonna spend. This money in for emergency, this money is for this, just like you got the 5-pot system. And she was very much into that as well, the 5-jar system, I should say. So one of the things, and you can touch on that, is that I found I was not surprised when she got funding. I wasn't surprised. Where I was surprised was that she got it again, and she was headhunted for Film London to do I think at the time it might have been the riots, and the local authorities wanted to show films. I don't know if you remember that.
Because leading up to where I was doing fundraising, she was already out there doing what she does.
Yeah.
And she was doing it very, very well. She had the numbers, she had the structure, she had her committee, she had everything there. So I came about just to kind of fine tune. But during that period, and as you said, there was that era where what were they called? London. There was that. What was they called? The film.
The one that done went headhunting for was Film
Yes.
London.
Yes, because I remember she phoned me. She goes, "Guess what? Someone just called me and said they want me to be part of this film initiative," and she was so excited about it because that meant that her name was out there, and it wasn't just local, because a lot of her initiatives was in Haringey, Enfield, but her name, the reputation of her initiative already surpassed the area, and it got to this initiative. I don't know how, but she felt that it was another opportunity to raise the profile of the organization, and also people that was linked to her. She was sitting down putting a list of things together of who's going to be involved, and she was very much about it was very much about community, and I'm talking about the Black community here. Who's going to do the filming? And she was going to pay. She wasn't mean. She was like, if I will pay you for a service, because it's important for the money to be able to be circulating around.
Yeah.
And as I said, she just had that spirit. It was that determination. She had her challenges, but regardless of that, she always found a way to push through.
Yeah.
She didn't let that keep her back. Sometimes she didn't even acknowledge it at all. There were times when I say, Jan, don't you think you need to kind of slow down a bit? She went having it. She just wasn't having it, because one thing about her, if she gave you a promise, her promise was always her bond. Regardless, and sometimes, on a weekend, Jan would say, she's got some events to go to. She will sometimes go to 3-4 events during the weekend, because she's promised so many people, I'm here to support you. We must support each other. We need to support each other. That's the only way that we're going to be successful, and how we're going to grow and survive. The community needs to support each other. So she would always do her best to go out of her way, whether it's across London, whether it's, South London, East, it didn't matter to her. And I think you made also a comment today about, I think you went around to Jan's to pick her up, and you didn't realize anybody that used to know Jan, you'd always see Patrick and Abby, these little eyes at the back.
Yeah.
It was just filled. And she would bring everything with her, because she didn't want to miss the opportunity. And it was also about getting people to understand what her initiatives were all about. And as you mentioned at the service, any opportunity to fundraise. As I said, the fundraise, was for the community. The fundraise was also to pay. It was also to pay the young volunteers, because it was like, okay, even I must be able to even pay them a £5 for their time. Yeah. And as young as they were, 10, at the end of the session, they would all line up, and she had a little book. And you asked them, first of all, what did you do today? And they had to explain themselves first, right, before she paid them. And if they did something wrong, she would deduct.
Yeah.
it was about discipline. It was, you're not here to be messing about.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta take this serious.
Yeah.
And she had that about her, no matter what she was doing. And even during this lockdown, where she, because of the profile, she should have been self-isolating. She was out there. She was, her initiative with the elders and the vulnerable members of our community. She was up crack of dawn, and sometimes she would come back late at night. And we would chat in the evening about her day, and it's it kind of goes back to what we were saying before. You know, in our community, it's, you know, Jan is one of those people that, you know, she just went out of, she had pure love in her heart. You know, she didn't, you know.
You know, one of the things I was going to mention, and with Lady Leo, you know, there's that saying that say, you've got to be prepared to do what others are not prepared to do if you want to get further.
That was Jan.
Yeah, and she done that. You know, without even saying, she was prepared to do more to get the job done.
She just kept going.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, she would say, if I don't do it, then who's going to do it? And she would call around different people. Come on, we need this help. We need help.
I remember, yeah.
You know, and she'd always say, you know, I don't care what anybody's going to do. I'm not into no foolishness. You should be out here with us. You should be out here.
Just like that.
Yeah, I even Diane, I was going to say this. She used to ring up other people's events the day before and say to them, have you got a projector? I know you're doing an event tomorrow. Have you got a microphone? I'm not lying. Have you got a thing? I'll tell you what, I know you said you've got one, but I'm just going to, she used to bring it in the back of her car.
Yes. She always used to come prepared. Yeah.
Carried it with her, like just in case the person, she, you know, I'm going to say is, we as a community, we are hard work. We are hard work. And she knew that, and I know that. And sometimes, you know, she realized, you know what, I wonder if they've looked at this finer detail. Although I'm going over and over again, I'm just going to read something very quickly, yeah, which she said, yeah. Hopefully I can find it, and my eyesight, I know somebody sent a tribute, I can't read it, but maybe you can read it. You know, I haven't started wearing glasses yet. I see everybody wearing
glasses. I'm wearing my glasses now, so come on.
Yeah.
Shirley Mason says, in times like these, when warriors transition, dismantling the earthly robe of flesh, answering to the call of source, hearts break, hot tears fall, the ancestors rejoice, for she has just begun. Thank you, Shirley.
One of the there's someone else sent.
Yes, so Keta Music says, I didn't know the sister you speak of, but I wish I did. What a wonderful stream.
Yeah. This is a quote that I saw that she made. It says, surround yourself with people who will encourage you to step up in life and be positive. Make a plan, work towards it, dream of it. Always remember you are a child of the Creator. Thus, greatness lies within you. Recognize it, follow your dream. And that was part of her mantra. We've got the kite here, and the kite here actually says, Gold Onyx, remember not to forget. And I nearly forgot. But one of her other mantras that she said as well, and she actually said it in that video clip, was working together to spread African unity and culture was another mantra that she had. And we'll be playing that clip again, so you listen out to and you know one thing, if you listen to her speak, it's very interesting. She doesn't hesitate, it just goes, it just rolls off her tongue, because she's passionate, and she knew what she was doing. She done that in one go. She done that skit in one go. Diane, I've also got Diane, which I'm going to repeat here, and I don't know if you could touch on it. Oh, I've got in my hand, she done the workshop called Understanding Marcus Garvey, Boot Your Business Idea. I don't know if you can touch on it.
I remembered because I used to run a number of workshops in Wood Green, and I remember one day she called me up and she was like, you know what? I've attended a lot of your workshops, but you know what? I want to do something a little different with it. And I said, what did you have in mind, Jo? I want to develop a business workshop initiative around the philosophies of Marcus Garvey. So I'm like, so what did, because she was using me as a soundboard. So I was like, what did you have in mind? So it was a case of, because of the journey that she was on, or she'd been through with Gold Onyx, in terms of developing the community, the Gold Onyx as like a business model. People were always asking her, how do you do this and how do you do that? So she decided that, okay, she was going to build a program around the philosophies of Marcus Garvey in terms of developing a business idea and taking you through the steps. Do you know, by the next day, she already had a draft to show me. And she already had a date in mind. And within a couple of weeks, she put it out there. Yeah. And she had her first workshop. And I think, I'm not sure about the numbers, but it was well attended. And she shared with everybody the journey that she went through. And as I said, she was very much about how to develop how to open up a bank account. What does customer service look like? How to do, and everything what she learned, she cascaded that into the community. When she learned something, she didn't hold it to herself. It wasn't a secret just for her alone. She went out and she told people, this is how you do it. And as I said, she was very much about the community. She was very much about the sustainability of the community. She was very much about seeing the community grow, and especially as a collective, because there were so many challenges that she saw that she felt that we didn't have the capacity. Sometimes she'll go to meetings and they're talking about an initiative and they just be going round and round and round in circles and it still have a conclusion. So her thing was like, we've got to do training. We've got to train people. We've got to do it right. That was her. And that initiative, and she did it. She pulled it off. And as I said, she had an idea. It wasn't something that was sit down and gather dust. If it came to her mind, trust me, by the next day she's had a draft already placed. And then, okay, this is what it is. And then she had everybody in place to execute the idea. That was Jack.
We've got some other people online. Diane, we don't want you to leave right now because I want to go back to some of the initiatives that she used to run. We're going to bring in our other guests who are giving tributes. So we just ask those guests to get ready to come online. Don't worry, Diane. Until those guests are ready, I'm going to just read from Understanding Marcus Garvey and Booting Your Business Idea. The program, I'm just reading out the program that this is the program she had, and people, you can have a look and see it there. Read the program. Even once again, the writing is small. It says program number 1, welcome. Number 2, Marcus Garvey, how his ideas inspired my African enterprise. And that's what she's put, she's telling her journey, my journey she's got. Number 3, think about your business idea, which you will pitch later. And honestly, I went on one of the courses, and I actually, I won't say it was a dragon's den, but it really made me think. I'm going to call it the angel's den, dragon's den. But number 4, pointers for raising funds. Number 5, keeping accounts. Number 6, personal and business development. Then there's a break. Then after the break, you'd come back and you'd pitch your business idea and she'd give you feedback. Marketing and branding. And then she had evaluation, and then that was it. But she still continued to keep in touch with some of the people that was on the workshop. Some of them themselves went on to do great and bigger things. So Diane, we're gonna bring in, we do have, okay,
Samantha's there.
okay, we're gonna find out who's online. Brother Gordon, we've got Brother Gordon, and we also have and we'll be coming back to you, Diana. We have Samantha Greaves, aka Warrior Queen. Good evening.
Greetings, Samantha. Can you hear? Do you want to unmute? Yeah.
Greetings, family. You know, it's sad to be here, but it's also an honor, you know, to be sat here in the studio with you guys. You know, thank you for having me. You know, listening to the tributes. I have to say it was a beautiful service this morning. You know, you guys did her proud. Everybody did her proud, and it's, as I said, it's an honor for me to be sat here this afternoon.
So Samantha, how do you know Lady Leo? How did you get involved, or what's the connection with you and Lady Leo?
Well, as you know, Brother Supreme, you actually introduced us. You know, I have actually got a tribute, you know, to read out for Lady Leo, you know, on behalf of the sickle cell community. So I think I'll start with that, and then you can ask me questions, you know, about my journey with Lady Leo and stuff. I'm just gonna bring it up because I had to type it out. I don't know if you can still see me on the camera.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Okay. All right. So first of all, I just want to say divine gratitude to our ancestors, you know, because without them, nothing would be, you know, and greetings to all. And my deepest condolences to Lady Leo's children who I've met on many occasions in the community, to her dear mother and the whole family and community that dearly loved her. And I'm happy to say that I am, you know, a member of that loving, you know, community, you know, and it's my complete honor, you know, to say to be here to, you know, to share in Lady Leo's memories and her earthly journey, you know, because all I know is that Lady Leo to me was a selfless, truly selfless, caring soul. You know, she was a staunch supporter of the sickle cell community, especially, you know, via the Sickle Cell Cause, which is the group that I founded in 2015. You know, and many times over the years, Lady Leo would have, you know, would actually highlight our issues. And a couple of times I was actually interviewed by her in the studio on Bless FM, you know, and it was very sad because in September is Sickle Cell Awareness Month, World Sickle Cell Awareness Month, I should say. And we had planned that I was going to come into the studio, you know, to give an update and a highlight, you know, about the plight of the sickle cell community during this COVID, you know, what was actually going on. She was very strong supporter of our community, you know, with the sickle cell. I wanted to, you know, raise our voice, you know, during, you know, Awareness Month, you know, but sadly, you know, that wasn't to be. But I witnessed Lady Leo as a very prominent and respected member of our conscious community, not just the sickle cell community. And she was always amongst the first to be ready to assist our young and our elders with, you know, direct hands-on support, exactly what you guys have been talking about before. She wasn't shy, she didn't shy away. You know, she truly cared and was, you know, she wasn't the one to shy back from helping people in need, you know, and she never stopped, even when it came to speaking out about the diabolical issues faced, you know, in our wider community. You know, I always found her to be very happy, you know, yet strong, and she was proactive, protective, and very highly conscious, you know. Lady Leo was a friend, you know, a community colleague, and a leading teammate in our community nation building wealth program, as we've heard here. You know, she was very strong about, you know, wealth in our community. And it's sad because with the program that we're in, she was like, she's built her team and she was just waiting for our virtual websites to come along. And now they're here, you know, we're about to announce them, and she's, you know, not with us to share with that, but I'm sure her children will, you know, benefit from what she built, you know, from the nation building project that she was in. Anyway, as I said before, I met her through, you know, our close mutual friend, King Supreme, that's, you know, here in the studio with our sister Kendaki, you know, and it actually breaks my heart, because I know that I know what it's like to lose that, you know, that close friend that you can share anything and everything with. You know, there's always that one person. You have a whole community of friends and a whole heap of close friends, but you know, there's always that one person that you can share your everything with, you know, and knowing full well that you will argue and fight, but the love is there. So I know that's what you have experienced, Supreme, and my heart breaks for you. So also, you know, as well as condolences to the family, the community, we have to remember those that weren't blood related but had that close connection to those that we lost, you know. I've already asked people that are living with sickle cell, you know, to spare a thought for the many sickle cell supporters that do for us, you know, even when we don't see it, because they're out there doing for us. We might be sick and ill, you know, and try a bit when we can, but there's people out there that are consistently doing for us, even when we don't see it. We must spare a thought. I mean, we all have issues, especially health issues, you know, and we must be mindful to support each other and lessen that load, you know, for the hardcore doers like who Lady Leo was. You know, she had her own personal health issues of her own, and she didn't let that hamper her, you know, as she woke up others to do, you know, to do the works, you know. So all I can say is with the highest level of respect and with appeal, I ask that our friend Lady Leo, Janet Edwards, ascends, as we know she will, with the glory she deserves. You know, may her mother, her dear mother, her children, her siblings and family, friends, and all the community be comforted. May our Lady Leo enter into the realms of our ancestors and take her place among the greats. You know, personally, I will miss her already, you know, miss her twinkling eyes, that mischievous grin, that disgusting laugh that she had, you know, we'll miss it. And I feel gifted, well gifted to have known her, you know, may she continue to rise in power, you know, and that's how I feel about Lady Leo. I only knew her for 5 years, you know, and in that 5 years, she made a great impact, not only in my life, but my children, my daughter, you know, sickle cell community. She was known, she was strong, she put herself out there. And I wish I'd known about, you know, more about her health issues, because with all the advice she would be giving me to slow down and keep quiet and, you know, keep still, I would have given her the same advice had I known, you know, whether she would have taken it or not, you know, is different, but I would like to have been in a position to be able to have helped her as much as she gave help and assistance. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Samantha, you spoke about nation building, and she
Yeah.
became a part of Gift Genius. So
Yeah.
if you could just touch on her in Gift Genius, because it was to me, she was someone that grabbed Gift Genius, and if you can explain to people what Gift Genius, and she ran with it. She came back, right? She actually took it, came back
Yeah.
and developed her own PowerPoints.
She
And I want to laugh, but explain that, yeah?
Yeah, it's funny you should mention that, because it was mentioned earlier. Dinah mentioned earlier how she took things, you know, and just take things and run with it, you know. And you mentioned like about, you know, hearing something, she will hear things, go home, next day she's created a new, you know, system of the same thing that would work better and is more easily understood. And that is how it was when she joined Gift Genius. You know, we've got a very simple program, you know, which was longing out, you know, according to, you know, to Lady Leo, you know. So I said, okay, right, she gets it, she's part of it, she started bringing in people, you know, but she said there's an easier way, you know. So he said, okay, well, you want to do it, you know, you show us. My lady, you know, gave a presentation. First of all, she put a presentation together and showed us as the leaders in Gift Genius what it was, and then she organized with Supreme. They hired a space, you know, brought people down, and she presented a fantastic presentation. I wish I had it here to show you that really simplified it, you know, and she just ran with it. The only thing is, like, we have issues in our community with trust with people, you know. It's our people find it hard to trust us sometimes, you know. And I say, well, it's not always the case, because, you know, like my parents first bought their first 2 houses through the partner, you know. So it's not a case of there's no trust in our community. It's just like people, you know, have different values for what they want to use their money on, you know. But until they, you know, can see things like we're in the technology age, right? We was running Gift Genius with no technology. We said like we don't need to be paying people for technology and so forth. We can do this, you know, as a collective, you know, small groups and bring it together and nation building that way as a collective, you know. But a lot of Lady Leo's team members wanted, you know, websites and, you know, things like that so they can branch out easier worldwide, you know. And it's just sad because like we're about to launch those websites over this weekend, you know. So she didn't, but I'm going to make sure that Patrick and Ebony benefit from what she built in Gift Genius. It's a fantastic program. It's really just like the partner, but only 21st century style, you know. And it's how we it's how personally how I help to do what I do in Africa and the stuff that I do in the UK, which I will share at a later date to those that would like to know about it. But yeah, all I know is that the work she did and the heart she had, like for the sickle cell community, I hope that there's people with sickle cell, especially from my organization, are on this live stream listening in and share some tributes as to how Lady Leo helped us, you know, with our plight. Yeah.
One of the things I'm going to mention to anyone who's watching this broadcast, right now, currently, they're at the grave side. So quite a few people are still there, you know, they're still out there. So hopefully if they get time, they will come and join us later. But currently they were on their way to the graveside and they were running a little bit late. And I've asked, because I'm here, I've asked someone if they could forward some of the footage if they do get a chance. I've actually spoken to Ebony and Patrick to say something also to Suzanne. So hopefully if their frame of mind and if they're up to it, they will be coming on the broadcast with us. So Samantha, it's very interesting because when we talk about nation building and using a platform such as Gift Genius, and if people want to find out more about Gift Genius, we'll put afterwards, but it's just nation building. Even today, when I was at the house, somebody came to me, one of her members on her side said, introduced them to me. Hi, I'm X and I'm part. And that they've done so many things with Jan that they had to come to the house. You know, and there is a thing at the house with the drumming, and Sister Kandaki can come in, that we still can't believe. Even though we're there and we do, it's still unbelievable that she's gone. You know,
I also wanted to say that when Diana mentioned like it was the first time she had heard Lady Leo's voice today, when you done that when you shared that YouTube recording of her. You know, funny enough, today was the first time that I heard Lady Leo's voice, you know, since she passed, because like in our Gift Genius group, WhatsApp group, that when she, you know, when we were talking about when she rearranged the Gift Genius program and she done an audio. So that is now, because, you know, that is now doing its rounds, you know, in the WhatsApp group, you know, as a reminder of who she was. And it was like, yeah, this happened. She recorded this just 3 weeks after joining the program. She'd already taken it, grabbed it, you know, and made recordings and was sharing it. And today was the first time I'd heard that, you know, audio for a while, and it's the first time I've heard her voice since she passed. So I know how you felt, Diana, hearing her voice for the first time, because I was listening to it. I couldn't stop it. I had to listen throughout, and this time tears is just, you know, it's a feeling. It is a true feeling.
Okay, Samantha, please stay on the line because we do have a brother that we're going to be bringing in next. I do believe is it Brother Gordon. Greetings, Brother Gordon.
Hi, greetings. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Okay. Do I need to do anything, or?
Well, you need to give a tribute.
Yeah, okay. I'm unmuted and everything, right? Okay.
Yeah, you're live.
Yeah. Thanks to yourself and Kandaki for giving me this opportunity to make a tribute, and also much love to my fellow listeners and other people on the panel. What I want to start with is that sister, our beloved sister, is much things have been said today, and myself and Karen, Sister Karen, we were listening to the service this morning. But one thing I wanted to base what I had to say on was the Ngozi Saba, the principles of Kwanzaa, which she very much believed in. To start with unity, she really believed and she spoke much about unity amongst the community, amongst the Pan-African organizations. That was something she lived and breathed. Yeah. In terms of self-determination, I'm going to put that also with purpose. Kujichigulia and Nia. She always gave of her best, and she was always a sister with a lot of drive and character, So definitely she exhibited that. In terms of collective work and responsibility, all our organization and community work is evidence of that. Cooperative economics, Ujama, she was involved in community businesses. She had her own stall that she'd set up at the events and other things that we had during the community. Creativity, Kurumba, should be remembered for even her stall itself was a display of creativity, Also, when we had the Kwanzaa celebrations, she was always there to add decoration to the hall, and so that was something vibrant that came out of her. And Imani, she believed in her community, she believed in her family and her creator, and of course our struggles. So Imani, she really showed faith in what she did. So in every aspect of the Ngozi Saba, the 7 principles, she was, she wasn't wanted. She showed every aspect of those things. Just to say that the last time we crossed paths, literally crossed paths, because there was the event at on the 1st of August in Brixton, the Emancipation Rebellion event. And those are two times in the year I would see Sister Jan, it would be 1st of August over the years, and it would be during the Kwanzaa time. And we used to work together doing different things in those events. And I said, okay, we catch up later, or just going over to, it was Max Road Square, and she was heading the other way. Just come up from the underground in Brixton, panting as she does, and making her way, because I think she's going to start or to join the drumming or something, but it wasn't to be. I didn't see her. She on a radio show, she asked me to make a comment on what I thought about the event was, and I sent her a text and we exchanged texts, and yeah, and then further on I heard the news. So definitely the warrior will be missed. She's a fighter. Everything about her, and definitely this Kwanzaa is gonna be is a big hole to fill. We will have to fill that.
Yeah.
Our presence will be felt. Yeah. So I'd just like to say that our thoughts go out to our children, Patrick and Ebony, and I hope that the community, that we keep tabs on them. We're always there to help them and bring them through as she was for other young people. So I hope we've got a permanent connection with these children. So as I say, it takes a village to raise a child. I know they're getting into young adults now, but we need to be there for them. So that's from myself, Sister Karen, my son Kwamena, and Kayumi, and that's it. Thank you. I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Gordon. Like he said, she's going to be a difficult person to replace. Well, we know in the Kwanzaa, but certainly in other areas, you know, even when they were lighting the candles, she would always be the one making sure that Ashley and Patrick are getting all the children, making sure they're up there, you know, lighting the candles, you know, saying their part, making sure that that bit ran as it should, you know. And even
I've got a lot of photos from the different events over the couple of years with her participating with the children. So if there's like a central bank that I can send them to, just let me know. Yeah, but I've got lots of photos with her in Kwanzaa and different events.
Yeah, because I think they're planning. The family are planning to do a memorial in the new year, and obviously to continue Gold Onyx in some form, because there's quite. If you look into the work she's done about 9 different areas of Gold Onyx: Island in the Sun, the business, the Marcus Garvey, Reboot Your Business. What else was there? I'm just gonna have to have a quick look at my flyer. She's done a sing-along jamboree where she got the youngsters to sing, and then she's done the sing-along for the elders. Like when it came, it's so funny because last year, again, there was an event where she's now involved with delivering food deliveries to the elders, and they had their launch, and guess who turns up? Microphone ready, taking over, getting the elders to sing. What's Lady Leo? She just took control of, and then she started to, sing get the traditional folk songs as well, and getting, was it? Sammy dead, Sammy dead, Sammy dead. You know that song? You know it? Sing it.
Sammy Plum, pizza candle,
and she would, right, get these songs and get everybody, and she's of her size, and then she's dancing and getting the elders to do this thing. Also, like you said, Brother Gordon, she was the first person that taught me about Emancipation Day before the Emancipation Day March. I remember before they done the reparations march, she used to do the reparation, emancipation celebration, but it was elsewhere. And that's where somebody spoke this morning about she got the children as a group to do a performance for Emancipation Day, which is quite and we know she done the children's cultural film club. We'll come back to Diane about that. And she started to do family outings as well. But one of the interesting things, because we're going to get Sister Kai to come on, I'm going to try and get her the details. They started to do a cultural family day where the children would go. The children would go and then run, race. So she kept saying to me, I'm laughing because he said Gold Onyx never won anything. But you see, next year, I'm getting my children ready to make sure that they win something. But it was all in, fun and laughter and banter. But if there were things like that, she would even tell other people, get the children, they're doing this. Another thing, and I'm going to bring Samantha back on that. She was part, and I met some of her team. She was doing the Our Legacy quiz night with her team, Gold Onyx team, and they've got an event coming up soon. Now, I didn't know that she had a team until I turned up. I turned up there, and I'm with sickle cell, and she's on her table. But it was just, I don't know, there's just an energy when she's in the room with her team and the other team, because we're all about knowledge and information, and that's what I spoke about earlier. She was very, very much into knowledge and information. And then I had to say, some of us who are still in the church, I'm in, but there is a chapter in the Bible, Hosea 4. I'm looking for you to
I don't know. I'm going to be able to
where
it
says in the Bible, in Hosea, it says something that my people lack.
Perish for want.
Yes. Can you repeat it?
You said it today. That's
why. No, you said it again.
I think you said something like, my people perish for want of wisdom or knowledge.
Oh, a lack of knowledge. Our people will perish due to a lack of knowledge. And that is so instrumental in us. We have someone like Lady Leo giving the information and knowledge and edifying both the youngsters to the elders. And like I said, she would put on events like the Children's Film Club. She'd actually get the children to pick the film. Once they picked the film, at the end of the day, they had to talk about their achievements. They had to talk about why they picked that film. So it was almost educational evening. And you know the interesting why I laughed, because she used to charge the children, but let the parents come in free. And I thought that's very good, because you know why? It was the parents that started to learn. But the children were there because it was popcorn, it was a film night, and it was their night. But the parents then, she told me, some of the parents are coming on their own. Because the knowledge was there in some of the films. I said, and I said to her, but it's a children's film. And she goes, oh no, I have to think about people in a wheelchair. I have to think about our elders. That's what she was doing with the Children's Film Club. Even though it had the title Children's Film Club, she made sure. And one of the things that was quite interesting, Gold Onyx celebrated I think the Children's Film Club celebrated 10 years. It might have been this year. It might have been this year or last year, but it just passed. Yeah. And she put on an event down Manor House. But again, very interesting. While she was doing that, again, the issue of a community centre came up. Why she couldn't find a place? Why we're finding it hard to put events on? And she was willing to pay. She said, there's not a lot of community places, and we begin to realise that this was an issue. And I'm going to lead on to something that she got involved in. Right. Island in the Sun display. I think Diane will be talking about that. So Diane, I'm prepping you. Yes. So, Brother Gordon.
Right.
Brother Gordon, can I ask, were you the gentleman that used to make the Canaras?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, in terms of the UK, I'm the person that supplies them. That makes and supplies them. Yeah. The one that you have there is one of mine too. One in the background.
Yeah. That's mine. Yours.
Well, now, I'm just asking, how did she go about getting in touch with you? Did you know her before that? Did you know in the Kwanzaa circuit? Because I know I was speaking to her, and she said something about people didn't know where to get this item. So I know she went to yourself.
Right. I knew her more through, we used to meet at 1st of August. 1st of August emancipation events used to be around the country, and she would travel to them. And then I remember her with the Gold Onyx work, and subsequently meeting at Kwanzaa. So she proposed that, well, to get the Canaras out, she offered to sell some of mine. So she used to sell some of my Canaras. I've been doing it at least about 15 years now. Different styles, different designs and different things. But yes, she was one of the people that helped to promote it.
Okay, and you spoke about I'll bring Kandaki in this because I'm a newbie in the country. You spoke about the principles of Kwanzaa.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And she lived her life by those principles, and she really did push that. And like I said earlier today, one of the just one of the ones that was quite important was the very first day was the Umoja, where she she made sure at least Umoja she would tell people the different emojis that were happening that day, and then I know she gathered. I don't know if you're part of Kwanzaa
Network
UK.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Kandaki, yes.
Can you and Kandaki touch on that? Let us know.
Well, Brother Gordon, was it about 3 years ago when we had the 50th anniversary of Kwanzaa? And it was Sister Jan and Brother Minka who spearheaded that. I mean, we were all part of the organization, but she drove that, right? Are you there, Brother Gordon?
Yeah, yes. Well, pardon? You said that, yeah, we were part of the original group that the committee that was set up to organize the celebration. But we said that we would do it every 5 years or something.
That's right. Yeah. She, again, as they spoke about Sister Jan taking the lead, she was the one who took the lead. And even when because there's differences in different organizations in the community, I'm sure that's foolishness. We need to be working together. We can't be like this. We have to make sure, and she just passed that and she just moved on and got the thing going, and I know we had maybe about 1,000 people at that event because it was a huge. We had it at the big hall in Hackney. So yeah, it didn't matter what came in her way. She was just like not having it. Let's get the work done.
But in saying that,
she was the glue and the energy.
Yes,
She brought people together, and she was the driver. Yeah.
In saying that, breaking bread, as I call it, is one of the keys to us as a community getting together to move forward. Although there's different organizations, if we all have the same goal, and this is what she was UK, what I liked about UK Kwanzaa is breaking bread and everybody coming together, showing that, we can come together and we can deliver. Even if there is differences, I'm not saying there was, but I'm saying even if there's differences, we need to use that principle of breaking bread and coming together.
That's what she did. She was about the unity.
Yeah.
She made sure it happened.
Yeah. So Kwanzaa UK, even and I'm laughing because we took a trip to is it not Croydon?
And this was the anniversary.
Oh, that's the anniversary one.
Anniversary. That was a booklet that had gone out on that year when she.
Yeah, we. I think the one in the. I don't know, brother. Are you based in London?
I'm in High Wycombe.
High Wycombe. Okay. Well, she made sure. High Wycombe, is that in London, by the way?
No.
My geography is terrible,
On the way to Oxford, midway between London and Oxford.
Okay, because she made sure that the same that we said earlier, she did attend. There was one in not Catford, but there was one in South London, which she made sure she attended. And we do get groups now who are embracing it, and they are new, and sometimes they don't know the fullness of it. So she would actually, on the day, tell them, would you want my help?
Even before
can I do this? Can I help with that? I've got, even to the fact that she would probably have a spare Canara in her back, in her back of her car, because she used to think like 2 steps ahead. Like I said earlier, I'll bring a projector. I'll bring what's it called, the thing you pull up? She'd bring the whole thing
Secretary.
and the portable sound system just to make sure that that event went correctly and smoothly, even if it wasn't her event.
And in fact, what she did over the last couple of years, like the young people who wanted to start Kwanzaa, she would go and she would support them and make sure. I think her and brother Bevis was doing that as well, supporting the people who were just coming into Kwanzaa, but making sure that, you know, on each day, everybody knew what everybody was doing. So it was coordinated. So she was coordinating across the country because we have in Bristol and Luton and all different places. And she was, you know, instrumental in making sure that everybody knew what was happening, and that was the idea behind the Kwanzaa Network UK.
She had she even had the technical savvy because between herself and Brother Bevis, they were very good with all the social media things and that sort of media know-how to take things forward.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, I've got some other people calling me to come into the link, so
thank you.
We're gonna put it.
Okay, yeah. So in the meantime, what we'll do, we'll keep speaking for a bit until we get the technical part of having our the reel of Sister Jan playing again, and then we'll get some new people.
Because like I said, some people they're just coming
back from the intern.
Yeah, so I'm gonna.
And I think as what you said as well, because even though I'm here, it's strange. It's still. It just feels, you know, spirits like hers, they only pass through every once in a while, you know, and, you know, I think Diane said it, you know, she was just pure, she was clean, you know, I can't remember the word, but she's, you know, that kind of spirit. You can go to her because she's just out there, you know. I wish she just talk, she just talk as it is, you know, but it's clean, you know, there's no hidden. And we're talking about community, and, you know, and as a community, you know, we need lights like that so that people have to trust, because as a community, sometimes that trust, to be able to trust someone, and you knew you could trust her, you know, she was the real thing, you know, so I still like, yeah, that's why it's, you know,
I'm from the program today, I'm just gonna read out one of the tributes in there. I might even get you to read it out. Is that right? Sure, because no, you're not wearing glasses.
I do.
Okay, I'm just gonna I'll tell you what, I'm gonna give you the eulogy. Just you can read the eulogy for us.
Oh, okay. All right, so give me the honor to read the eulogy. Janet, my eulogy. Janet, Jan Hyacinth Edwards, aka Lady Leo, was one of 6 children. Wow. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Jan Hyacinth Edwards, aka Lady Leo, was one of 6 children born to her mother, Melita Edwards, and one of 6 children to her father, Noel Bunny Hall, on the 24th of July, 1964, at Whittington Hospital Archway. And that's where we got her name, Lady Leo, from, because July 24th, Leo's star sign. Her early years were spent growing up, first in a small terraced house in Brookside Place, Archway, with her mum and her maternal siblings, Antoinette, Noel, and Carol, before moving into a large terrace house on St. John's Way. St. John's Way, I think, is Islington, that, you know, posh, where her grandmother lived with several aunts, uncles, and cousins already in residence. This is where the last of her maternal siblings, Jacqueline, that's the youngest sister, was born. Even at the early stage, the smiling, bubbling, always laughing personality that would follow her into adulthood was beginning to emerge, along with her fighting spirit. Jan was larger than life character. You could very often hear her come long before you saw her, despite suffering from asthma from childhood, sometimes even being hospitalized when her symptoms worsened. She was always ready to help the family she loved. Jan had many friends at school, some of them which was still in touch with her when she passed. One of her school friends, Lisa, whose daughter Teresa she is godmother for, said Jan was very popular at school, not just amongst her year, but those in the year above her and below her. Jan wasn't one to be bullied, wasn't one to be bullied or being a bully. She had a strong personality and knew that what she would and wouldn't do. She couldn't be swayed. Jan definitely wasn't a follower or a person who needed affirmation from her peers. Jan did what she wanted, and if you wanted to join in with her, the choice was yours. During break time, Jan would find her on the boys' side of the corridor, debating on black trends that hit young boys in Woodbury Down and the Rastafarian faith. Yeah, that's interesting. And Woodbury Down, by the way, is one of the largest estates in Hackney, that Hackney has got. Jan struggled at school academically for a short while and was sent to a special school due to the amount of school she missed because of her asthma. It was only later on in life, while studying to be a social worker, that Jan was diagnosed with having dyslexia. Jan did not let this stop her. She went on not only to qualify as a social worker, but went up to set her own multiple businesses and community ventures, as many of you know. Jan started her work life as an admin clerk at Hackney Council. That's who I worked for as well. And funny enough, I did meet her in Hackney Council, with my work as well. Whilst working in local youth clubs and talking about youth work, she used to get involved with a lot of youth talent shows. When I first met her, and they were large talent shows that were held up Hackney Empire, and I'm going to touch on that later. After deciding that office life wasn't hers, she trained as a social worker where she felt she could make more of a difference, especially with children that she loved. After qualifying, Jan worked for Hackney Council in the social services department. Jan worked hard for her clients, often going above and beyond the call of duty. Yeah. However, she became frustrated, and this is what happens to a lot of us, with the bureaucracy, right, and red tape, which prevented her from providing the level of service which she felt necessary. After working at Newham, and I never knew she worked there, Newham and Hammersmith and Fulham Council, she gave up being a social worker and became a school social worker, working at CEA Islington Salisbury School. Right. This is quite long. During this time, Jan adopted her niece, Melissa's two youngest children, the first being Ebony and then Patrick a year later. This responsibility prompted Jan to purchase her own property so that she could have a secure home for them. Jan was very proud of the fact that she had purchased her property on her own and was able to provide a home for her children. Again, Jan did all she could to help Ebony and Patrick achieve the best they could. At one point, going into school to working classes when she felt they were not getting the support they need. So she used to take her time out to go to the school, volunteer and help the children, In order to able further support her children, Jan gave up her full-time job and became a cover supervisor, working in schools as she loved, working with children. She never missed an opportunity to impart a wealth of Black history knowledge on the children, always encouraging them to do better, work harder to enhance their self-esteem and confidence. I've got to say this eulogy is quite long, but it just shows you the type of person she was, and this is coming from the heart of the family. Jan had a big heart and was passionate about helping people. She made it her duty always there to meet and need, and she particularly made time for children as their family and the elderly and anyone else in the community who needed help or assistance. She would always be ready to roll up her sleeves, offering a helping hand, whether it be in person or on the phone. During the pandemic, Jan was delivering food to the elders of the community. Regardless of the weather, every Tuesday she was out, ensuring that many elders, as they could see fit, in their getting their deliveries sometimes. And we know that our elders are the ones that most of them have been quite isolated during this season of the COVID period, or the so-called COVID. And this is where a lot of the community is now becoming isolated, but she's still out there providing, her own personal help to people. Yes, many of the elders, I'm going to jump forward. Jan was also recently played a major role in helping a brother in the community to be released from psychiatric ward, supporting one of her and supporting her best friend and sister in the community, which is Sister Decker, for a terminal illness, and even organizing the celebration of life. And she went through personally doing a lot of things for Sister Decker, and Sister Decker just literally it was just not even a week after Sister Decker was buried that Jan fell sick and sadly, is no longer with us. Jan has suffered many losses over the past year, and it took a great toll on her health, but she never really made it known. She just kept continuing, and this is what warriors do. They mask, their own stuff, but still continue to give a level of community service to people. So she's a true warrior, true queen warrior. Jan was an avid community activist, a woman of action. In October 1992, after completing a Black History course, Jan felt the need to have an outlet, an information radio show, and of course took on the pseudonym name of Lady Leo. And she also founded Gold Onyx. Yeah. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to see if we do have any others coming in. And we do have some sound bites to play as well. So we're going to get those ready. The conversation this evening is very interesting, and the tributes. I'm hoping to get Sister Kandaki to finish off the rest of the eulogy as well. And we're and like I said, if anybody out there listening and you're sending your tributes, my eyes can't read the screen. If you can forward this broadcast to other people, it would really be appreciated. Yeah. I was up to come my eyes start get turd jerking just like you. You think you can handle it?
I can.
Let me check your eyes.
I can take it.
Is your eyes?
I can. Where were you?
Back there.
Okay, so it's quite long. What we might do is just have a little break in between and then come back after.
Yeah.
Or do you want to continue straight?
Continue a little bit.
Okay, so in January 2000, Gold Onyx reshaped and became focused on promoting the 1st of August, also known as Emancipation Day, marking the 1834 abolition of slavery in the British Empire. She also started promoting Kwanzaa, emphasizing the importance of the 7 principles, which Brother Gordon was talking about, celebrating African heritage, unity, and culture as a Black alternative to Christmas. 2007 saw the launch of the Island in the Sun display, again under the Gold Onyx banner. This was a large collection of the many historical items which Jan had collected over the years, some of which she had traveled halfway across the country to collect. She began working on the display in May 2007, and her first display was October the 12th of that year. In October 2009, Jan started her Gold Onyx stall to raise funds to finance her community engagement projects. On the stall, she sold items such as carvings, masks, bracelets, cowrie shells, cultural jewelry, Kwanzaa items, greeting cards, a Wari game, posters, toys for African children, information on Marcus Garvey. Jan became an avid Garveyite and practiced and promoted his teachings wherever and whenever she could. And Carter Goodwin Woodson, founder of African History Month. Jan would take Ebony and Patrick with her to the many events where she would display her goods and taught them very early the principles of business. Jan also went on to become founder of the Children's Cultural Film Club, which also began in October 2009. It boasted being the only one of its kind, and Jan described it as a monthly interactive children-focused forum that enriched the lives of children and their parents through cultural-based film and positive debate. This was definitely one of her most loved projects, which celebrated its 10th year in October 2019. Under Gold Onyx, Jan also went on to set up community services and events such as the Interactive Film Workshop, where organizations and event organizers could book an interactive film workshop where participants can watch a culturally based film and debate it within a safe environment. A sing-along jamboree, where parents and their children were invited to come along and sing along to cultural songs and play drums. That was started in 2010. The Children and Young People's Program, August 2012. Family outings to places of historical and interest relating to African heritage. Celebrating our elders, bringing her Island in the Sun display to community groups for elders so that they can have a chance to rekindle early memories. Understanding Marcus Garvey workshop, shaped on the teachings of Marcus Garvey Jr. Jan used his principles to educate and encourage children, young people and adults on how to set up, run and network their business ideas. And I think it's really important as well when we say
this is Tony Warner from
get to
Black
understand History. That, you know, who Marcus Garvey is, because many people still don't know his principles, still don't know about him. And hopefully, like I said, maybe when Sister Kai comes on, she can elaborate some more. And even on the teachings of Kwanzaa, the principles of Kwanzaa. So Gold Onyx, Kumba, a dance troupe who came together for the first time with only 2 rehearsals to put on a fabulous performance at a cultural event, 1st of August 2017, along with a host of other activities and services throughout the community. Jan, under her community name, DJ named Lady Leo, hosted a weekly community show on Bless FM radio every Friday evening, sometimes accompanied by her 2 children, Ebony and Patrick. The show focused on community news, interviews with people who started their own businesses and prominent members of the community, current issues, events, and music. Ever since starting her journey into Black history, Jan wanted to go to Africa. By the grace of God, she was able to go to Ghana in 2016 with her mother, sister Jacqueline, children, and extended family. She then went again in 2017 with her sister Jacqueline and her children. Jan was so happy to be able to say she had returned home to the motherland and had hoped to emigrate there herself one day. No tears, you know. Jan leaves behind her mother, Melita, 2 children, Ebony and Patrick, Maternal siblings, Antoinette, Noel, David, Carol, Jacqueline, and paternal siblings, Venton, Karen, Mark, Sharon, Sandra, and Lorraine. This is just a snippet of Jan's life, achievements, and ambition. Jan's sudden death has been a massive shock to her family and the wider community. She will be sorely missed. May she journey well on her path to join the ancestors. We will always remember, never to forget.
Yeah.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashe. Okay, I think maybe at this point we can play Jan. If we've got the technical side, we'll play Jan talking, let Jan speak for herself before we move on to the next section. Have we got that? Okay. Could you put it on the full screen?
Gold Onyx started in 1992 as a discussion group to bring our people together. In 2000, we reshaped and reorganized our organization to focus on celebrating the 1st of August, which is Emancipation Day. Since then, we've had quite a few different community groups and projects, one of which is the Gold Onyx Children's Cultural Film Club, which is started in 2009 and is still going. The Children's Cultural Film Club is a forum for young people to come together and watch a film in a African-centered environment. We watch a film, have a discussion about the film. We talk about achievements that we have achieved throughout the month, and we celebrate in that way. The Children's Cultural Film Club is a really valuable resource for young people. We have offered young people the opportunity to take on posts such as volunteering. From there, we have seen them go on to do other things as well. Some of our young people have gone on to university. We've even had parents also going back to college, starting up their own business through just being enlightened and encouraged about what's going on here at Gold Onyx. We'd like more children to come. As we said before, it's a valuable resource, because when you go to the mainstream cinemas, you just watch the film and you go home. Whereas here we're a club, we're a Gold Onyx Children's Cultural Film Club. And it's very important that we are a club so that people can feel part of the experience of watching a film together in a safe family environment. Gold Onyx has a number of community engagement projects. We have our Island in the Sun display, which is over 400 items associated with Africa and the Caribbean. We have family outings, a place of cultural interest. We run a Gold Onyx store, which helps to raise money to finance the organization. We do cultural films in schools and colleges and wherever who hire us. We have the Children and Young People's Program. That one is where if you're another organization putting on an event and nobody's there to supervise the children, we can supervise the children with the same theme so the children can learn about whatever the topic is that adults are discussing. We also specialize in toys for African children, so we can promote our own identity. Our slogan is remember not to forget, and we've also got another slogan, which is we're working together to spread the gospel of African unity and culture. The Children's Cultural Film Club takes place every second Saturday of the month. For more details, you can contact us on 07946 670 949. That's 07946 670 949. You can also email us at gold.onyx@yahoo.com.
We'll be back in the studio shortly. I want to say thank you to Sister Diane Powell, Sister Samantha, and Brother Gordon. Maybe if you can you just put them back in so we can just at least thank them for being in this evening. Diane, I know you're calling all the way from across the other side of the world.
Yes, I am.
Ari Ma'at. Is there any last words? Because we know that, we're talking about the things that Jan did, but you know, Jan is standing on the legacy of people like Marcus Garvey, great ones who went before, and her life was about passing that on. And, you know, when you spoke about what she was doing with the children, making sure they were disciplined, you know, have you done the work? She was passing on to the next generation in real time. And, you know, that's what she stood for. And as well as how much it is still a shock and still trying to process her gone, it also is about her legacy and, you know, continuing that community, and especially at the time that we're in now, you know. So if there are any words, you know, and I'm going to ask each of you that before you leave, that you can share that, you know, will help to move that forward. I don't even know if what I said was, you know, makes sense, but if you understand what I'm saying, yeah.
I would say on the behalf of the Holy Coptic Church that may Jan's light continue to shine as a beacon for others. She had a selflessness, she had a devotion, she had a love for her culture and her people, our people. She's an example for many of us. When our beloved sister Decca transitioned, one of the things she did say was, life is too short. We need to live in the now to lay the foundations of the future. Sometimes, you know, sometimes we have encounters, we have situations, and it doesn't really matter. What matters right now for us is the legacy, and that we lay the foundations for our children.
Okay, thank you so much. The Arimaat. That's what I want to call you now. Arimaat. Warrior Queen, is there any last words you would like to leave on behalf of the legacy that Jan has
Yes,
left?
I would. Again, thank you for having me. A beautiful celebration of life we've just had. I would say, before I leave, I'd just like to say that Lady Leo left us very good examples. She left messages, you know, and in all avenues of her life, if we was to only, you know, take one thing at least, one thing, whether it's finance, whether it's you know, just following the principles of the Kwanzaa, you know, the 7 principles. You know, she adhered to all of those in everyday life, and we do well to learn from her and also learn from her passing. You know, it's like we do need to rest as well. You know, don't give everything. You know, rest as well. Think of ourselves as well. You know, she left valuable lessons, and I feel completely honoured to have known her and be a part of the community that she serves.
Okay, and I want to even thank you for saying that, because I felt it, but I didn't say that. And, you know, she was helping everyone, and in her last moments.
Exactly. That's my point. You know, what she gave and gave and gave until she had nothing left. We took her with all her giving. Valuable lessons.
Thank you. Brother Gordon?
Right. I'll just echo what my 2 sisters have just contributed at the end. I think our legacy for me and for everyone should be our consistency, because when she committed to something, she went through with it and she would do it consistently, and her drive and energy. So those are the things that I would take, and I hope the community takes that example from her. Ashe.
Ashe. Ashe. So I really want to thank the 3 of you for being with us here today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have some other members from the community who want to come and pay their tribute to our beloved Sister Jan, Lady Leo. So we now have our sister Val from the African leadership. The African Caribbean Culture Center just changed, and it's now the African Caribbean, not just changed, but Leadership Development Council. Sister Val, welcome. So can you introduce yourself and your time with Sister Jan and how you knew her? Welcome. Could you unmute? You're not unmuted yet. Let's just.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Greetings.
Thank you. Wow. It's a sad day. And when I heard the information from another friend to say that Sister Leo, but at first I was like, Sister Leo. And then I said, oh, I know her as Jan. And obviously Sister Leo later on. But I've known her for quite a long time, actually, quite many years. I met her actually when she began the club somewhere near Folden Road in Stoke Newington. And she used to, always running around, putting on things and helping other people. And I just remember Jan as a giver, always giving. And also not negative. She always had a positive word to leave with you, and always busy. And she had. I remember her two little ones, always behind her, doing everything with her. Like everywhere she was, they were there. And those are the things that I'll remember about Jan. Like such a community activist, such a deep, passionate person for her community and wanting the best for her community. And I know that's what she's going to be remembered for. Her poor children, but they're not poor, they're rich, because she left them with something.
Yeah.
There were children who they were exposed to so much and given so much. And so she has left them with something. She may not be there physically, but she left them with something awesome about their self-identity of who they are as young, amazing Black children. And, all I can say is that, wow, she's really going to be missed, because I'm here speaking, giving this tribute on behalf of myself and my, my family, but also as well as on behalf of the women's group and the West Indian Cultural Center, where every Saturday she was there putting on her event, making sure that she's helping and supporting the young people and their parents as usual. I saw her, another stalwart that's gone from our communities, Brother Dougie. So she was always at Brother Dougie's event, setting out her stall and, interacting and communicating. That was her life. And, what the last sister said, and even what you said, Sister Kandaki, is that she gave. Is she good? I don't know if she was a good receiver. She gave a lot. And I think one of the most important things, especially as us Black women, sometimes we could be giving and giving and giving and not taking care of ourselves. And we must remember to take that special care as well. So I just want to, on behalf of, the whole community at the West Indian Cultural Center, the women's group, myself, just remember Jan, amazing Jan, a woman of substance, a phenomenal woman. And, that's all I can say. And God rest her soul. She's gone to a better place. She'll rest. And her memory and legacy lives on, because her children will carry that on, because she gave them that.
Yeah.
So thank you for having me.
Yeah. No, thank you for, you know, for paying that tribute to our beloved, you know, and I know, like yourself, you know, you're doing things at the culture and the like you say, the women's organization there as well. And
Yes.
Sister Jan, you know, being ever, but like you said, being so committed and so giving and giving and giving and giving, and that is beautiful, you know. That's wonderful, you know. And you know, yeah, sometimes we have to give back, you know. I think I think it was Warrior Queen said, you know, sometimes we just have to say, look, you know, she said, if I knew how unwell she was, I would have told her to stop, whether she would have stopped or not, you know. And like they spoke before, Sister Decca, the week before, you know, she just took things in hand and made sure that her sister was laid to rest in the best possible way. And, you know, she was even going to take on the child of that sister, you know, because that sister had asked her to look after the child. So she was just taking on, and, you know, and yeah, like I said, it's still, that's why I'm still struggling a bit with this one, because yeah, very few people who I pick up the phone and call, and Jan is one of them. Like I said, 2 days before she left, I was on the phone, Jan, such and such. I don't even know who else I'm gonna have to do that to, you know. She's special. So as the others said as well, yeah, you know, we pray her soul is ascending and soaring into the heights and going into the bosom of the ancestors, and they hold her tight and dear, because that's a beloved sister right there. Yeah, so I want to thank you so much. So I just need to, you know, yeah, this, yeah. So thank you so much, Sister Valerie, for really sharing your memories with her.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, my sister. Blessed love.
God bless.
Now move on to another queen in the area, in the community, who, you know, again, want to acknowledge our sister Kai from the African Land Revivalist Movement. It's wonderful to have you paying your tribute. So I'm going to sit back now, Sister Kai, and let you speak.
Tenamwari, greetings, Sister Kandake. Well, what can I say? First, let me say Tatenda to all of you for putting this together for Sister Jan, a stalwart in our community. I think I kind of feel that everything's already been said, but I guess I can speak from the perspective of another sister in the community on the road with Sister Jan. I also like to send condolences to Sister Jan's family, her mother. We saw her earlier this morning as they were preparing her to go to the graveside. It's just sad to know that a mother has to bury her child. As a mother, you're preparing your children to bury you. So I can't imagine how the pain that the mother is going through right now. And obviously her children, Princess Abene and Prince Patrick, who would not have been expecting this. It's all sudden for everyone, but in particular for them. And I just hope and pray that as a community, we can stretch out our hands, our hearts, souls to them and let them know that we are there for them as their mother was there for everyone else. I also send greetings from the spiritual leader, Brother Leader Bandaka of the Al-Kebalan Revivalist Movement, who will be addressing our community after myself. I just want to say, Sister Jan, I've known Sister Jan for a number of years, and I would say probably in the last 3 years that we've become even more closer. I think mainly because my situation, where I have now responsibility of 6 of my grandchildren, similar to hers, and we started sharing more about, you know, the challenges that come with it, the institution that we're battling with, and things like that. And, you know, Sister Jan being a veteran, giving me some tips and support. which I really appreciated. But I've always seen Sister Jan as a no-nonsense person. That's how she's always come over to me. Something needs doing, she's gonna get it done, right? So we can sit in a meeting going ooh around in a circle, and then you feel like Sister Jan done it, and everybody goes, oh, the next meeting, oh, I didn't know you were gonna do it. But she goes, it needs to be done, and nobody put themselves forward. You know, that's Sister Jan. And you know, I respect people like that, because organizations, you know, community groups, you can't move forward unless you have no nonsense people, and you got people that realize there's work to be done. There's no bells you're gonna get. There's no flowers. There's no flags. Work that needs to be done. And you know, and then people will turn up and say, "Oh, what a wonderful occasion!" Not knowing that there are some people behind the scenes that made it happen. And Sister Jan is one of those people. Sister Jan is the kind of person that, as been said already, she loved children, and she always wanted the best for our children in the community. And you know, I appreciated that she put on these film club, set up a film club for our children every Saturday. That's a big commitment. That's a big commitment, and for someone who heading a Saturday school, that's a big commitment, because not every Saturday you get up. Do you want to get to that Saturday? Because some Saturdays you get up and go, oh God, do I have to get out this bed? But when you get there, and the things that the children do and they say, and the transformation you see them making, you say, oh God, it was all worth it. And I know that she got joy as children grow and develop and flourish, because I know that every day she did not want to necessarily get up on that Saturday. As I think somebody said earlier, and maybe Sister Valerie also touched on that, you know, I think it was Sister Samantha, about Sister Jan not being well and, you know, probably needed some advice. I'm sure many people gave Sister Jan advice, but Sister Jan is not a person that wears any sickness or ailment as a badge of honor. Because some people, you know, you're sick and everybody know you're sick, and before you even say, how are you? Oh, you're sorry you ask. Right? That's not Sister Jan. That's not Sister Jan. Because, you know, being sick is just a part of her reality. Or being not well sometimes, just a part of reality. But because you're sick, that don't mean you can't get things done. That's how my mother raised me. I'm sure that's how Sister Jan's mother raised her. I never had a day off of school because I was sick. My mom it just wasn't in her frame of reference to say, you're home because you're sick. It's like, so what's it got to do with anything? You know, I must say I was kind of a bit harsh on my sons. It took me a long while to realize, right, sometimes I have to take a day off. But I didn't see it as a reason. You took days off for other things happening in the community, somebody coming over from abroad and they're having an event. We're taking you out of school for this, we're taking you out of school for that. Sickness is not one of them, right? And that is, I think that's how she was. Work needs to be done. Sick or fit, it needs to be done. And if the people them that fit now do it, then the sick people go have to do it. And, you know, nobody knew she was sick. Nobody even knew she had, you know, respiratory problems, because she just got on with the work. She just got on with more people like Sister Jan. You know, I've been speaking to a number of sisters in our organization, in the community, that know Sister Jan or been in touch with her in some way. Some people say, oh, I used to buy things from her store. What we're going to do this Kwanzaa? You know, oh my gosh, she's such a needed person in our community. And I said, yeah, she always, if there was a gap, she tried to fill it. A gap, she tried to fill it. It's not always possible to try and fill all the gaps, but I understand that type of mentality. I understand it well. When there are things that need to be done, somebody has to do it. And if nobody step up to the plate and you know you can do it, whether you should do it, you're going to do it. And that's Sister Jan. And I respect people like her. I know that her family are going to be very proud of the kind of person that she is. And, you know, sometimes your family know you're doing things, and sometimes even annoyed. They say, you're doing too much. But when people start to share their tribute and the way that she's touched people's lives, they're going to feel really good about the kind of daughter, the kind of sister that they had, you know. And I think that we have to remember that sometimes our parents don't fully understand why we're doing this and why we're giving it so much time. But that's okay. We know that why we're doing it. We know why we're giving it all this time. You know, we're not doing it for ourselves. We're doing it for our community, and they will benefit. And if they don't benefit, their children will benefit. You know, and they will appreciate it one day. They'll understand it one day, even if it means when we've passed, they'll understand it. And I think she has a beautiful legacy. She's left a beautiful legacy. As a family, they need to be proud. As a community, we are proud. And I just...
Wow.
We just got so much to be proud of when people like her pass. There's a lot of loss, but we've got great legacy to stand on. And you know, as a people, we have a great people come into our lives, into our history, and we should be proud of them. And you know, we need to canonize and immortalize her name and her legacy. You know, may the spirit of Sister Jan live in perfect power. Tendai Mwari. May she rise on the wings of Ma'at after a favorable judgment in the council of Asa. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Tendai Mwari.
Sister Kai,
Yes.
I'm glad you came and said your tribute. But I had a conversation with Lady Leo, and I was talking to Kandaki earlier, and she said that there was a fun day where the children were having a race, and I don't know who arranged that fun day.
Okay.
But she did mention that El Cabalan children took a lot of trophies that day, and that she was going to round up more children for Gold Onyx, right? Because it was interesting. You know, on a fun side, and we were talking about the quizzes and stuff that she done, but it was fun, friendly banter.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can explain that fun day, but I remember her calling me saying, you know what?
I love that. Yes, it was a Pan-African Sports Day. The Pan-African Sports Day is every July. Unfortunately, because of COVID, didn't happen this year. But it's every July, and it's Saturday schools or alternative schools that come together every year to compete against each other. So, you know, rather than it's always academic, there must be a time when they come together, because even our children that are in Saturday schools, they need to know that there are other children in other Saturday schools all over the African world, and in particular in our community. And it was great because Al Kebelen, I mean, I must give thanks and praises to Brother Minka from the Afrika Bantu Saturday School, the Queen Mother Moore Saturday School, and Nubia Foundation School. They were the ones that set it up first. And when we found out that they were having we used to have our annual sports day anyway, and we realized that they was, coming together. So, well, we want to get into that. And they were in South London. So, we're coming to South London. And they said, all right, then. So we joined up. And we said, yeah, we need to spread this thing and get more people in. And then we had Manhood Academy and, different people coming and joining. And for 2 years running, Afrika Bantu slaughtered us. Yeah. The first year, we were totally unprepared. We got such a beating, it was shameful. And me love a competition, but not that kind of competition where you lose. You shame. So I said to myself, no, next year, boy. I said everybody, look, we got such a meeting from Afrika Bantu. That can't happen again. So we got the children training 6 weeks in advance. Next year, and beat we again. Right? But this time, it was a close finish. So we said, next year. I just said, Brother Minka, you see that cup in your hand? Kiss it, because the last time you're going to see that cup, you're never going to see it again. And the next time we came, we just sweep the cup from them. So, we trained them. Well, we were serious this year, but we trained them.
So we're here now. Poor Sister Jan came in. Oh my!
But we love it because that's good for our children. We don't want them to come, even if it's sports. Look down on sports. Sports is important. It builds another side of their character, and we want them to have that competitiveness, but with love. Because they understand the coming together. But do things to develop yourself, and it gives other children. You see, in Saturday schools, it's very academic, and not all children may be thriving in the school, and so they may thrive another way. So it gives them another opportunity to thrive You know what I'm saying? And shine, and so they can get a medal, but they didn't get a trophy for being first in English language and history and maths. But in sports, they got some trophies, in organized by African people, which is key, and So yeah, we had that. So I mean, gold Onyx, we're ready. If you want to come for the come, we starting training from January. Now you tell me that January we'll start the training.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Well, again, I'm going to be talking to Gold Onyx, the people that have taken part, and hopefully they will be represented both in quiz nights and the things that Gold Onyx was doing. That because one of the things what I liked is that our children go to the system for schooling, and they meet up with their peers, and sometimes they can see that things like that the things that we do in the community are very adult, and they don't feel a part.
That's right.
Sometimes it's nice to have something to break that ice by having events like that, and like the film club and the club, so that they can go back to school and say, well, you know what, I went on Saturday, I learned about XYZ. I'm going to just film that was shown, one of the films that they were actually showing, and I thought I had it in front of me, but
that's so true. That's so true, Brother Supreme. It's very important that we are organizing things for our children, that they can, this information they can receive it in their childlike mind. And it's good for them to go to community events so they can see the range of adults and children there and so forth. But sometimes you need to take the time to just break it down for them in a fun way, in a loving way. And that's why in the movement, we put on things like, our Children's Day, Messiah Children's Day, our annual pre-Kwanzaa Children's Party. I mean, last year we also had Black Superheroes in the October. And Sister Jan called me and said, look, I'm coming down to set up a stall. I said, okay. And she goes, I'm going to donate some gifts, because they have to dress up and we had prizes. And she goes, she's going to donate some gifts on the day. And I said, oh, you sure, Sister Jan? The money kind of tight this side. She goes, no, money. I said, I'm giving these gifts. And it was not like a give gift. Somebody giving a gift and something. Why? It wasn't that. It was a good quality gift she was giving. So I know it costs money. And so I know that she, little things like that. I know this person, she extends herself, and it's even this month, the Alkebulan Academy of Excellence, our Saturday school, is also organizing with other Saturday schools a Black History Month quiz. Obviously got to be online. So this is going to be the first of hopefully an annual events, and hopefully at some stage Gold Onyx, while they get through this year, are able to join us next year, and we have a real big competition on Black history, because that's what we want our children to know about their history. Just to say that on the night before, Brother Supreme sent that the text that I'm sure everybody nearly dropped when they received that text about Sister Jan being admitted to hospital. We were speaking on the phone for about a good hour and a half that evening, and the phone it cut off, and I didn't know how it cut off, nor did she. Something you're talking, it cut. And so she just texted back and she said, okay, we'll speak a bit later. Now by then I was so tired, I thought, I'll phone her tomorrow. Then I received this text. You just don't know. You don't know. I was just so shocked. You kind of feel, well, I've got an unfinished conversation. And the text was, that she's on a ventilator. And I must say that once I hear them kind of things, my mind just went right back to Sister Nkechi, who we lost, a member of our movement who we lost in March. And I just thought, oh my God, no, not that, not Sister Jan. But when you've done good and you've left a legacy, your name doesn't die. You know what I'm saying? Your name travels in generations to come. And her name is somebody that will definitely be traveling in this community for generations to come. So, you know, I'm sure as the year go on, there is some talk about setting up something to honor these great sisters that have passed recently, and some kind of community tribute for them, a yearly one. We don't want anybody passing anytime soon, but you know, but you know, this is just a reality. You know, this year has been a very controversial year, and it just shows that as a community, we're not as strong as we need to be. We are doing work, but we're just not doing enough. Not enough of what is needed. In times like this, we should have full community support. She's left 2 children. Everything should be in place to support them. You know, Sister Nkechi left a son and grandchildren. You know, another sister from a community passed away about a year and a bit ago. She left 4 children. You know, so you know, there's things that, you know, we try to, when we were working towards building the National African People's Parliament, those are some of the things that we said we need as a national body. For when these things happen, it's not all the burden is on the community, not on the community, sorry, on the family. The community, the percentage must go to the family to support the family, because it's a lot. And I just hope and pray that these souls that have passed this year, including Sister Jan, has not been in vain. I hope and pray that we can use this as a measurement to see what we don't have and what we need to have, and start to put these things in place. But give thanks, sisters and brothers, for your hard work and bringing this together, because I know it's hard work, because when we tried to organize Sister Nkechi's one, it was hard work getting all the bits together and so forth, and making all the calls and setting up this and setting up that, and who did bring that and that never have the flag, and so on and so on. So, and it's yeah, and who, I thought you send a text. I know I thought you said you was going to send a text, and I know. And then the person still not even answering the text when you send it, you know.
The tech man's clapping, he's saying yes. You know?
So, I know that. I know
on that point,
yeah.
Some people in the back room that are going to be coming on.
Okay.
And can we bring in Brother Leader Bandaka as well, and then we'll bring back yourself if you stay online. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Tendamori.
Tendamori. Okay.
Greetings, Griot. Chinyere. Yes, we can see you. You're live. You need to unmute though. Greetings. Can we unmute her? Or does she need to unmute? Oh, you're unmuted.
No, I thought you were bringing in Brother Bendaka. So I was sitting.
No, okay, I think he's bringing you in first.
Yeah.
Okay. Greetings, great uprising. Thank you. It's nice to see you all there. Lovely to hear that tribute from Sister Kai. It was good and it was funny, and it just makes it feel like Jan's still here, you know. You're just chatting about her, you know. She's gonna turn up next week at the next film. But yeah, thank you for that. What do I want to say? Well, what I want to say about Jan, it echoes a lot of what people have been already saying in her giving heart and her giving spirit. So she always used to shout out people. You know, she's always bigging people up, which I thought was wonderful. And whether you listen to her show or you don't listen to her show, she knows what you're doing. Anytime I see her at an event, she knew what I was doing, and she'd be shouting me out on her show. And I've listened to her shows a few times, and she's always, supporting people in the way that she can. I don't know where she got the energy from, but yeah, I'm just really... Let's think of it like this. I'm feeling blessed that I had an opportunity to spend time with somebody of that quality. I'm feeling blessed that the world had somebody like her in it, and the world was a better place. And the world is a better place, even though her physical body has gone, her spirit remains with us. And so we're always going to be like, on our best behavior. Because, you know, she set a high bar. So anything lower than that, it really isn't good enough. I mean, she had a respiratory illness, breath. What more do you need to live than breath? What is the most important thing you need in life other than breath? And she still managed to achieve all the things that she achieved, even though she was short of breath a lot of time. She managed just to keep going and to inspire. And like Sister Kai said, she wasn't one of those people you say, how are you? And she'd go, oh, you know, and then there's, and oh my God. And then, oh, let me tell you about this. And oh, did I tell you? And last night, and then last week, and oh, she wasn't one of those people. She'd be like, yeah, I'm working on this. I'm hoping this will happen. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I loved her for that. And I want to read a poem from this sister's book. This Sister Demilla. That way, sorry. It's called Demilla Yakwa. She's a sister that passed away 4 years ago, and we honoured her at the In Their Argle storytelling retreat this year. This is her book of poems. She's another sister that I feel she gave a lot to the community. I mean, yeah, she'd stop young people on the street and talk to them like they were her children and say, what are you doing? What are you up to? Why have you thrown rubbish on the floor? So I want to use one of her poems to honour another sister, one sister to another. Is that okay?
Yes, please go ahead.
So this one's called I Am Woman. I chose this one. This is a poem that Demilla used to say all the time, and I remember finding the book and going, how am I going to find that poem in this whole big book? And you know what? I just opened the page and there it was on that first day. So this is called I Am Woman, because Jan was a phenomenal woman. I am woman. I am as ancient as time, as mystical as, I am as ancient as time, as mystical as a dark summer's night. I'm as seductive as the moon in all its glory. I am woman, African woman. I was from my mother's womb. From my womb, nations came. I was praised, anointed, and given names like Madonna, Venus. I gave birth to the first doctors, the first astrologers, the first mathematicians. I gave birth to the writers of letters because I am a woman, an African woman. These hips gyrated to the rhythm of the drum on the banks of the Nile. My beauty enchanted pharaohs, energized warriors. I walked out of the abyss with my man by my side because I am woman, African woman. With these breasts, I suckled prophets like Muhammad, Buddha, Jesus. Because I knew myself then, I understood the sacred wisdom. I am teacher, I am comforter, I am creator. Because I was blessed with the first giver of human life by the supreme being, I am woman. I am African woman. With these lips, I surrendered Shaka Zulu. My sons I blessed and sent them to the four corners of the earth before Columbus knew his name. I am woman, African woman. These arms I rocked, comforted philosophers. I gave Aesop, the Ethiopian, his first fable. Fables which were scattered around the world, giving a moral order to generations. I am woman, African woman. Come, worship at my shrine.
Well done, Chinyere.
That was really an apt poem for Jan, because she suckled. She supports the next generation with their writing, with their maths, with their philosophy, with their well-being, with their confidence. She is a woman. She's an African woman. And she's created a whole world of greatness while she was here. And so that poem, just when I read it, I was thinking, yeah, she's created people who want to be mathematicians and philosophers, people who write letters, because she's an African woman, but not just an African woman, a hard-working African woman, not just a hard-working African woman, a hard-working African woman who knows herself. And so this is what we do. We come worship at her shrine because she honored us, and in turn, we honor her. So I wanted to read that poem there.
We do have some time challenges.
Okay.
Everybody to get in and speak. So
can I just do one more? It's a very
right.
One more. This one is called by the same sister. It's called Elsewhere. See, I'm getting old. My eyesight's getting big.
Yeah, like me. Someone else's eyes.
Elsewhere. Elsewhere came to me as a gift and a dream. She said, I know you don't want to be here. You want to fly and be free. Let me take you to a place where dreams are real. Let me show you what it means to live. Let me draw you into the bosom of your being to experience what it means to be truly free. Elsewhere spoke for what seems an eternity. As she spoke, I found myself floating on her words, twirling in and out of places and scenes far removed from the reality of the moment. And as I looked elsewhere, became a huge bird. Climbing on her back, she flew into the distance, and suddenly, elsewhere, the bird became elsewhere, the place, luscious, green, with fruiting trees everywhere, laughing voices, singing voices, conversation, voices everywhere. And suddenly, I am surrounded by people, everyone looking, an aspect of me. They called my name, welcoming me. Long lost friends, relatives, loved ones greeted me. Others cried in joy of knowing I have returned. And I found myself remembering the journey. Every step of the way that got me to this place, to this point, I could taste it. And with pounding, joyful heart, I knew elsewhere was home. With all of its familiarities, the ones lost and forgotten, on the sojourn, not of our making, a sojourn in the wilderness of unfamiliarity, despair, and rejection. I am home, I heard myself say, and the words became elsewhere, the memory seated with elsewhere, the place. It was then I realized elsewhere had always watched over me, waiting for my acknowledgement. And so elsewhere, I welcome you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Griot. I'm just gonna ask if you just quickly show who's in the room.
Well, we've got Sister Miriam up
yeah,
already.
I know. I just want to make everybody know that everybody's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that because Buzzing Bee was going to do a radio show, and he's just about to go through the door of the radio station. So can we just pull him in quick because he's gonna, very quickly, Buzzy. Yeah.
Yeah. Am I in now?
Yes,
you are.
Oh yeah. Greetings, everyone. I'm Kendaki and yourself. Doing a magnificent duo. I think I can now have you as the celebrities, if you want, of TV talk now. In terms of presentation, I think you two do it well together.
Thank you.
Yeah. Buzzy. Very quickly, can you make your tribute? Because I know that you're going to do a radio show.
Jan's radio show. Yeah,
that's right. So I just want to again I've been listening from the beginning of the program, and I must say it's a really moving tribute. And there's not a lot I can add to what people say except to echo what they've said in terms of Lady Leo. Of course, a hard worker, a dynamic person, a person who was a go-getter, who liked things done, and she was a no-nonsense person. She was a bit sharp on the edge, but that was always with good intentions, and it meant no harm, it meant no malice, because she just wanted things done. I can reflect something that Kendaki said when she mentioned about different organizations in fighting or cross fighting about other things, and Lady Leo had no time for it. She had no interest in it. She really didn't want to entertain it. She didn't know what it was all about. All she knew that we needed to work together, come what may, because that's the only way that we are going to forge ahead, and to bring unity amongst ourselves. Because I think Leo wanted, she wanted action in motion, and she wanted unity in motion, not just saying it and talking it. And she was the epitome of that. And the Kwanzaa, she also lived the principles of Kwanzaa in every possible way. So I think Lady Leo would have been a good role model, so to speak, that other community leaders can follow.
Yeah,
definitely.
And they should take a page out of her book. She was unrelenting, and I think I can go as far to say that she lived and died for her community. And I just think that we who are left behind should continue, and lead by example as she did, and that way we will remember her in that way, and not forgetting the family that shaped her, and that gave her that drive and that energy as well. We mustn't forget the family, that generations and generations that also shaped her too. We also give thanks to them too.
That's right.
For giving her to us. So I've got to run now, but that's all I'm going to say. And you two are doing a fantastic job.
Thank you, Buzzy
Thank
B.
you, Buzzy B. And just to say again, you're actually going to be doing Jan's show on Bless FM that she would normally be doing, so people can
from 6 to 9, and after that we'll be doing a tribute in her voice as well, telling her story after 9 o'clock.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
We're going to bring in Sister Miriam. We're going to bring in full screen. I just wanted people to know who was in the room so that they can, bring it.
Keep it smaller.
Yeah.
So, right.
All right, Sister Miriam, how are you?
Give thanks. I'm well. Give thanks. Greetings to each and everyone. Give thanks for allowing me to come in and to partake of today's tribute to wonderful Sister Jan. I know Sister Jan through going to the same school together and working more so with her brother. And more recently, I had the lovely pleasure of taking part in an interview with Sister Jan, and it was just so warm and enriching. It was just like sitting in your sitting room, reasoning with your sister, and we spoke of so many things: life, love, everything, music, education, everything, even when I was at school. And she had some really wonderful, beautiful things to say. It was just wonderful, We even had a competition on air, and my brother phoned in, and we were laughing because we said, well, you're my brother, we can't give you the prize, but it was nice for you to join in because you already know the answer. And we were so jokified, and everybody has said about her humor, her community works, everything about Sister Jan. She's so unique, and I know a lot of things have already been said. One of the hardest things was that a week before her passing, we were together because another sister had passed away, and Sister Jan was very instrumental in organizing it and we were there supporting her. So it really did come as a very, very big shock, you know, very, very big shock into hearing of her passing. And a little time has passed now that kind of, you know, that it's eased a bit. But however, it must be very traumatic for the family. So I must send out my condolences to them. I would love to also put the rest of what I have to say into song.
Okay.
It's another journey. Sister Jan has flown away, yes, yes. It's another journey. That's why we're here today. She's a true Garveyite, defending the rights of the community. Steadfast in her truth, in all that she do, with real determination. Remember not to forget the things she has done. Her legacy lives on. It's another journey, yes, yes. It's another journey. Whoa, it's another journey. It's another journey. And I don't finish there because she's a Garveyite. Advance to victory. Sister Jan, oh yes, you're free. Advance, you beat the foe. Advance, you beat the foe with the might of the red, the black, and the green. With the might of the red, the black, and the green. Sister Jan, true Garveyite. Give thanks.
Okay, thank you very much, Sister Miriam. Leader Bandaka, can we get him on the widescreen as well? Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Sister Miriam. We want to try and get everybody in.
Yeah, before, because we're going to have to wrap up soon.
Yeah.
So give thanks for that beautiful song, my sister. Give thanks.
Because there are some audios that have been sent to me because people are at the. So we say greetings, brother Leader Bandaka.
Can we unmute you? Yes.
Tendai
Yeah.
Mari mukuru kuzai mukuru tendai mari regai mazwi andi notaura nefungwa zimumuyo mangu zinzikwene mimwari. May the words of our mouths and the meditation of our hearts be acceptable in thy sight, O Jah of our creation. Tendai mari. Royal elders, queens and kings, princesses and princes of great Mama Africa, I bring greetings as always in the most precious, powerful and bountiful name of our motherland, Al-Kebulan, Mama Africa, in the sacred spirits of our most gracious ancestors, and in a prayer for oneness, hope and prosperity for all African people upon the face of Mother Earth. Rumbidzo kunamwari ye Africa, to the God of Africa be the glory. I say again, Rumbidzo kunamwari ye Africa, to the God of Africa be the glory. Giving thanks and praises unto Mwari Nyakusika, God the creator of the universe, our great ancestors, for life, for the meaning and purpose of life, for health and strength and daily food. And on this blessed day, this day of the sending home of the car, the spirit of our sister Jan, this day of the celebration of her life, of her legacy, we rise, we kneel, we bow in praise and thanksgiving. We clap our hands, we roll the drum, and we sing our praise songs to a worthy African queen who blessed us with her spirit, blessed us with her energies, blessed us with her rhythms, and has left the earth vibrating to her rhythm and perhaps trying to readjust. Sister Jan, we have heard so many powerful words in honor of her life, so many powerful words from so many beloved brothers and sisters among us whose lives were touched so profoundly by such a giving sister, someone who was so rich in spirit, so fine in intellect, so deeply committed to our people. I was so moved by the eulogy that was delivered by the family. And everything that is said by the family has been reinforced by the community, affirming that our beloved sister was true to everything that we saw in her. Her kaibit, which our ancestors teach us, is one of the 9 parts of the soul, the shadow, the reflection of the self in the environment, the social and the physical environment. That kaibit of Sister Jan's is so powerful that that reflection will remain with us, and we will all be blessed by the living presence of Sister Jan's spirit. Such an awesome and powerful spirit will never die. Can I just say very quickly, beloved brothers and sisters, I've known Sister Jan since the mid-1980s, 1986 to be exact. When I joined as a social worker, I joined the social work team in a social work team in Hackney, and that was a social work team that was that specialized in recruiting foster carers and adopters from the African community. It was a specialist team. And Sister Jan, before she was a social worker, before she became a social worker, was the team clerk. And even from that time, Sister Jan had a presence. There were 5 social work teams in the office, including ours. She certainly had a presence in our team. And sometimes you would think, when you hear us conversing, that she was in fact the team leader. Not the team clerk.
Yeah.
And indeed the youngest member of the team. Sometimes you would hear area office discussions, and you might think she's the area officer rather than a clerk from one team. She spoke with so much authority. She held her position so resolutely and so tenaciously that she commanded respect, even as a young woman working in an environment where the majority of people, she might have been the youngest person in the entire office, but she had a presence, and it wasn't in any way superficial or flimsy. She always was a young woman of substance, even before she began to blossom in her African consciousness, outwardly anyway. She certainly did have a presence, and it was one of dignity. It was one that always commanded respect. So we give thanks and praises. By the way, Sister Chinere, Sister Demila Yekwai was a founder member of the Al-Kebalan revivalist movement and was the sole mother of my eldest son, young Shakara, whom many of you know very, very well. And she and I, for a few years, were very, very close. So I give thanks and praises for what you shared. I know time is limited, and there is so much more that I would want to say about this this absolutely blessed sister. But I believe much has already been said. We can't say everything we want to say. We can't say everything that needs to be said, but we can be as meaningful as the moment will allow us. I would like to take the hand, if I may, beloved organizers of this wonderful outstanding tribute. And may I say, brothers and sisters, the term light has been used as a metaphor to express the personality of Sister Jan. And it's one I fully embrace. And I just want to say I give thanks just to have been in the range where I could be touched by a ray of that bolding light that she shone everywhere she went. And today was, that light was blazing today, because everyone was reflecting a piece of that light, and it came together in an amazing, it has come together in an amazing way. I would like to bless the soul of our sister and bless the legacy of our sister by reading, if I may I have permission?
Yes, please do.
Reading from the Hosea, sacred text of African wisdom. And I read from page 31, the book of Kun Anup. It reads in verse 1, when you embark on the lake of Ma'at, truth, justice, and righteousness, may you sail on it with a good wind. May no storm tear away your sail, nor your boat lag behind. May no misfortune fall on your mast, and may your mainstay not snap. May you not run aground, nor the current carry you away. May you not taste the evils of the river, nor see a face of fear. And may the fish come quickly to you, and plump birds gather around you. For you are the father, or let's say the mother of the orphan, the husband of the widow, or let's say the wife of the widower, the brother of the divorced woman, may we say the sister of the divorced man or woman, and the protective garment for the motherless. There's a piece more which I would like to read, but let me just illuminate one or two points very, very quickly. Sister Jan undoubtedly had embarked on the lake of Ma'at. Truth, justice, and righteousness. She was on a journey, and it was a journey that commanded the knowledge of that which is. Truth is what is. It is the 360 degrees of reality. Sister Jan, in everything she did, sought to defend and protect truth, sought to represent and uphold justice, and sought to maintain a posture of righteousness. As she sailed, brothers and sisters, she was manifestly at many stages of her life the mast. Is that right, brothers and sisters?
Mm-hmm.
She was the mast. She was, in fact, the sail. She was, in fact, the good wind, because she was the moving force behind much of what happened in our community. And that has been qualified already. I don't need to recount that. But so many good work suggests that she carried a wind, even though, Sister Chinere, she was at times breathless. Somehow she found the power to blow the wind that moved things and made things happen. What a powerful queen, what a powerful spirit she had. And wasn't she on so many occasions? Haven't we heard testimony to the fact that she was the mother of the orphan? Yeah. That she was the wife of the widower. Is that right, brothers and sisters?
Really?
Yes. That she was the protective garment of the motherless. Oh, she brought comfort to so many. Those elders to whom she would bring food in a time of crisis, when those elders would fear stepping out their front door, Sister Jan would turn up with food and conversation to let those elders know, you matter.
Yeah.
We have not forgotten you. We love you. And she would bring to them the bread of life. What measure of a woman who we celebrate on this sacred day? Let it be remembered that we lay this great queen to rest on this day. I'm not going to be much longer. Let me raise up your name in the land as the embodiment of every good law. Isn't that what we're doing today?
Yes.
With our sister, raising up her name because she is worthy as the embodiment of every good law. For you are a leader, and that she was, without greed, a great woman free of baseness, one who destroys falsehood and brings righteousness into being, one who comes at the voice of the caller whenever there was someone in need. If Sister Jan was in hearing range of that cry,
Yes.
she would answer that call. She would answer that cry. Can I have a witness? Yes, indeed, brothers and sisters. A great woman free of baseness, one who destroys falsehood and brings righteousness into being, one who comes at the voice of the caller. When I speak, may you hear me. Grant me justice, O praised worthy one, to whom those who are praised give praise. Now, let me just illuminate just that line. To whom those who are worthy of praise give praise. There's so many who have spoken today who are worthy of praise themselves.
Yes.
Because they are doing good work and good deeds in our community. But those on this day, those worthy ones of praise, raise their voices to give praise to this one who has been worthy in a way that that worthy one has inspired all of us.
True.
That set the example for all of us, an example that will live on into eternity. It says, put an end to my oppression. That's what she tried to do every day. Once she came into consciousness, for I am greatly burdened. Count me, and you will find me lacking. That didn't matter to Sister Jan. If she found you lacking, she found a way to uplift you. She found a way to empower you. May I just close with the words of the most eminent prophet and king, His Excellency Marcus Messiah Garvey, because rightly it was said that Sister Jan was a Garveyite. Is there a better commendation that you can give a freedom fighter than to say he or she was a Garveyite? When I go, please don't forget to say I was a Garveyite.
No way.
Please do not forget. If you can see this great man behind me, Garveyite true and true. Here you, Sister Kanaki. Can I just steal a moment just to extend, and Sister Kaya has already done so, but I just want to extend as a spiritual leader of the Al-Keblan Revivalist movement our heartfelt condolence to the family of Sister Jan, whose pain we felt in that eulogy this afternoon, and particularly to her children, Princess Ebony, and Prince Patrick. We know how much she loved those children and how deeply committed she was to them. I shudder to think how they must be feeling. I had the opportunity to press their flesh today, but we, beloved brothers and sisters, we need institutions in our community that can respond to needs so that there's not so much pressure on individuals. We need institutions. And now Sister Jan's legacy, her two children, and the institutions that she built are there. Do we have the mechanism to give sustenance to those institutions to make sure they carry on? Do we have the mechanism to grant the support that those children will need on a daily basis? Those are serious questions that we have to ask ourselves. But let me close with the words of the most eminent prophet and king, His Excellency Marcus Messiah Garvey. This is my special tribute to our sister. Papa Garvey, in his words, as he was contemplating his own inevitable passing, he says, "My work is just begun. And as I lay down my life for the cause of my people, so do I feel that succeeding generations shall be inspired by the sacrifice that I have made for the rehabilitation of our race. Christ died to make men free. I shall die to give courage and inspiration to my race. If Garvey dies, Garvey lives. If Sister Jan dies, Sister Jan lives. Never forget your God. Remember that we live, work, and pray for a binding racial hierarchy whose only natural, spiritual, and political limits shall be God and Africa at home and abroad. With God's dearest blessings, I leave you for a while. One love.
One
The love of God go with you. The love of God go with you. The love of God go with you, Sister Jan. Africa. To the God of Africa be the glory. Tendai Mari.
Thank you.
Sister Mariam, good to see you. Bless you. Love the singing.
Love to see you also.
All right. Don't forget we're family. Don't forget we're family.
Of course.
She knows what I mean, beloved. She knows what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've actually come to the end of the tribute. Now, I know there's one more person waiting. I'm not sure with the tech person if we're able to. Okay, let's brought him in. Thank you. We have one more person in the waiting room, Elder Pepper Kaye, and I think it's fitting that we have our brother Elder Pepper Kaye. Elder, we're out of time, so we want we definitely want to give a tribute to our beloved Sister Jan.
Greetings, family. I won't take up much time. Brother Mantak has given an excellent presentation and tribute. So on behalf of the Pan-African Congress movement, we wish to express our sincere loss to Sister Jan's family, and especially to her 2 children. Brother Bandaka asks a very pertinent question to all of us. What will we do? How will we continue the legacy of our sister? Because the only question we can ask is this: what drives her? What makes her the phenomenal woman that she is? Now, when Brother Dougie passed, it was very sad because Dougie grew up in my hand politically. His mother used to come into the bookshop at 25 Western Road to buy greetings cards and so on. And young Dougie would come behind her. And I watched that young man grow to be a giant in our community. But when Sister Jan passed, well, you don't expect anybody to die. You know? But when it happened, it just licked me for six. Because not very long before that, I was talking with her. Because that was the first conversation I had with her. After that, magnificent contribution, support, leadership that she took in the sending home of our sister Decca. And she was complaining to me to say, one particular sister, and I won't mention her name, was very unkind to her, and I'm putting it very nicely, in criticizing her the way she conduct the going home ceremony of our sister Decca. And I said to her, Sister John, don't put that by your head, because for the sister to pass some kind of remark, show that the head, no right. And the whole of us into a mental asylum, including me, but with different part of the asylum. Get deep into it. And we were talking because I wouldn't say I was very close to my sister Jan, but she always called me. In fact, she called me more than I call her. And we were talking. And I really want to, oh yeah, she was saying to me that before Sister Decca passed away, Sister Decca wanted to tell her something. And she never get to say what it was. And after some conversation I had, an idea came to my head. And I said, you know something, I'm going to reason this out with Sister Jan to see if that is what it could have been that Sister Decca wanted to tell her. But put that aside. It come back to what is our responsibility, what is our duty to ensure that the name Jan not only remain in our minds and our lips, but will continue the hard work and the commitment she has laid down. And one of the things that she was very, very instrumental in was the Kwanzaa Network. And all of us, a Cable Land, PACM, Brother Minka, and all the organization who from early been promoting and to celebrate Kwanzaa. All of us have really failed miserable. And I think out of the respect and the love that we have for Sister Jan, we can begin a serious attempt to get it right. And what I'm suggesting that because the first principle of Kwanzaa is about building and promoting unity in the family, community, and nation. And we have to start from the family. Because the reason why Kwanzaa is growing so weak and lopsided, because we got it wrong. What I'm suggesting, that the first day, because unity begins with the individual, the family, moving forward to the community and to the nation. So the first day, we stay in our yard, we're not going away, and we bring the family together. Not just the family in that household, but our family was scattered all over the place. Because oftentimes, we are so busy organizing the community, we forget the family. And I'm a big culprit when it comes to that. Family member give me hell. Because they said, you're always out there with the community and you don't bother with us. So I'm saying that what we do, we start in the family and home. And that is how we can build and strengthen Kwanzaa. Because some of us say, oh, I'm going to Kwanzaa. What nonsense is that? You don't go to Kwanzaa. You practice it. You practice those principles. And the first way of starting those principles, you do it in the home with your family. And once we can build a family, we'll have a stronger community and a more powerful race. So I won't keep up much time, but the Bandaka have delivered an excellent tribute for all of us. But I just want to add to what he says, that we need to make a lasting contribution to ensure that the legacy of a beloved sister is not just in our memory, but will live on way, 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 way beyond our physical existence. It's not just in memory, but will live way, way, way beyond physical existence. It's not just in
Okay, brother.
Elder Pepper Kai, thank you for it's a fitting.
I must also conclude by saying my heartfelt thanks to our sister Kendaki and to our brother who have made it possible for us to make all this contribution, because I don't know if it was Sister Kai or Brother Bandako who said it's not easy. Wanna do.
And also we have to say to MediaNet who have opened up their studios for it to happen. So yeah, thank him for that as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've coming to the end.
Yeah.
And I would like to say that I would like to do this again.
No, I don't want to do this
You
again.
know, we this morning done the drumming and that celebration, and because of the thing that's going around now, we're kind of a little bit disjointed. And I feel that we just need to
yeah, well, make we organize something different, not this.
Okay. Okay. So,
Brother Supreme and Sister Kandaki, can we just hail our brother Anum Yapo for leading such a rich and powerful send-off ceremony today? It was awesome.
Tendai Mari.
You there? You there? You there?
Yeah.
It was really instrumental in organizing everyone, the whole family.
The whole family.
Said, yeah.
You know.
Supreme.
Okay, so once again, we're thanking everybody who took part. There are some tributes that are actually coming in while I'm sitting down here.
Yeah, so we actually have some audio tribute. I know from Tony Warner, he had done an audio tribute. Another sister, you know, I know there were other people who had wanted to come in, but we've kind of run out of time now.
With the challenges. Also, like we said, if you tune into Bless Radio, from now till 9 o'clock, they're going to be doing a radio show and continuing that. We know the day, as we're talking, she's literally being buried. So the family are now just making their way back home. So once again, I just thank everybody who's made tribute to.
What's the frequency for Bless Radio, my brother?
Bless Radio is it's on the internet. Bless Radio. I'm gonna see if I can find it.
I'm not sure.
It's Bless Radio. I think it's blessradio.co.uk.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you tap in Bless Radio, you'll pick it up. Okay, right.
There were some other
as well.
Sorry, what was that?
Tuning.
The tuning app, yeah.
Tuning app. You'll just
okay. All right, we've come to the end of our time on this broadcast.
For those whose messages we didn't get a chance to read, we did see it. Thank you for sending in your messages as a tribute to our queen, warrior queen, Sister Jan, aka Lady Leo. Yeah.
Okay. On that point, I'm going to ask the technical man. We're just going to fade out with the video of Jan, and then until next time. Until we meet at Kwanzaa.
Yes, so Kwanzaa. We'll meet and celebrate at Kwanzaa, yes.
Okay.
Thank you. In honor of our beloved Sister Jan, aka Lady Leo.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are we ready to play out?
No, we don't have enough time. But okay, once again, thanking everybody that took part. Yes, and we look forward to Kwanzaa.
Yeah.